Wow, that 30 seconds went fast. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? Sorry, I just started up my computer. As you can you see that? Look at that big fat lip. My son just hit my head. So I'm in a little pain. But yeah, good evening. Welcome to Creators Hangout. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk a little bit and do some stuff. It's going to be fun. See what everyone's doing. See what's going on. I am messaging this around and letting people know that we're live, and if people want to be part of it, all you got to do is message me privately. If you're a creator, go ahead and message me, and I will get you in this Creators Hangout. Love to have you here. Love to do some stuff. We're going to be talking about some campaigns. We're going to be talking about Kickstarters. We're going to just do a little bit of everything, just kind of hanging out. I do these when I have my launches, and they seem to be a lot of fun. We tend to get a lot of people engaging in part of it. So if you are one of those people who think it'd be a good fit, come on in. Let's hang out. Let's chat for a minute. Let's see what we can do to help everybody, grow their campaigns. We do things a little different. I'm going to ask some pointed questions, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to find I'm doing this Henday. There we go. Hangout tonight. Hangout is live. That's me for invite. So let's see who we got in the chat. I'm sure we got some people by now. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people. We got Mr. Burton. We got Ave. But yeah, good evening. So yeah, tonight's been crazy. So look at that fat lip. Can you guys see that? Oh my God, look at how nasty that is. So that's from my son. So you may see me like this a lot. He decided to headbutt me this evening. So that's been a little crazy. But yeah, we're going to hang out. I've got some creators who are going to come on a little bit, I'm sure. Again, if they want the StreamYard, if you're a creator and you've got a campaign live or anything, let me know and we will see what's up. I am always up to hanging out and do some stuff. If nobody shows up, that'll be okay too. We'll just chill and talk about comics. We'll talk about Granite State Punk. I do these every Wednesday when I have a campaign live, so you'll see me for the next 4 weeks. We'll be doing that. Driving as always. Yeah, I don't think driving, that's never worked out for us, James. I love having you around, but you coming on when you're driving is probably not safe. Tonight we're talking about everybody's campaign. What's going on? I've got so many people in the chats. We got Mr. Nuts himself. By the way, I saw someone who had D's nuts and stuff. James, you're more than welcome to come on if you'd like. Just send me a private message. I know you said you were interested. Send me a private message. We'll get you on. But yeah, we're just doing a little hangout, getting some people talking about some stuff. Just like we do. I'm a little out of sorts, like I said. I got hit in the head. So that I saw what's going on with me. I saw Scream tonight, the latest Scream. Highly recommend. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So if that's something that you were thinking about getting into, highly recommend it. I liked it a lot. Really was a good addition to the franchise. It has its flaws, but that's okay. What else we got here in the comments? Sorry, people are asking me for links and like messages and all sorts of stuff. All right, who we got? Who hit you on the head? My son. See my son? Right there. These are from my son too. All these scratches are from my son. So Sasha's links. Like I said, anybody who wants to come on, you guys are more than welcome. Just private message me. We'll get you guys on. If not, I'm just going to talk about Granite State Punk. I'm going to talk about what's going on. We're doing very well. We're on day 2. And we're killing it. Let me show you what's going on. Not only are we killing it here, I also, I don't talk about it a lot, but I have a Patreon. And on that Patreon, which is pretty cool, I've got some people who are doing some stuff. Remy is abusive. That's true. So a couple people are messaging me. Sorry, let me get everybody's messages. So let me send some links. So let me get some links out. Let me do some stuff. People are already trying to get in, which is cool. So yes, my son is abusive. I don't know why he keeps hitting me. It's not cool. I'm not a big fan, but that's what's what. But in other words, what else were we talking about? Sorry. Javi says there's an old white lady named D's Nuts, and there is Ray D's Nuts. But yeah, we have D's Nuts. Okay. All right. So different nuts for different people. James is going to try on his drive. We'll see how that goes. That never goes well, but we'll see what happens. But yes, my son's abusive. So yeah, I got the Kickstarter. But one of the other things that I've been doing recently, which is pretty cool, is I started a Substack. So if you're on my newsletter list, I've been sending stuff out, but I actually have some paid members, which was shocking to me. Which is crazy. So I have some paid members, and what the paid members are going to do is we're going to actually build a comic together, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start a comic from concept through the whole process, and that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. I thought you were supposed to ask if you want 2 CDs. I think there's a joke that I don't understand. Hey, Brian, how are you? So yeah, so I started a Substack, which is pretty cool. So it's my newsletter list. Let me show you guys what's going on. To see these nuts. I get you. I actually just saw that joke. It's from a grandfather talking to his grandson. He's like, "Hey, son, when we were a kid, we had CDs. CDs what, Grandpa? CDs nuts. Oh, you know, that stuff." Johnny, what's going on? Johnny, what's going on? Hope you were well. I am well. I'm well. We're talking about the Kickstarter. We're talking about what's going on. Like I said, I got punched in the face, so it's extra punk tonight. I got hit by my son. He headbutted me, and I'm bleeding. So hopefully that's not weird. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. He only hit me once. I didn't call any cops or anything. I didn't call anybody on him. Let me remove some stuff. I did send some people out for links. So if you guys get up, I sent them the links to get on. So we'll see who comes on. David is more funny than Margaret's brother. That is maybe right. But yeah, so this is my Substack. So basically it's a newsletter, but in it is some really cool stuff that I wanted to talk about. And like I said, I got some paid subscribers, which is pretty cool. So we're going to go over some comics. So I've got like 4 comics here that we're going to vote on, and I'm going to develop that comic with you guys, and I'm going to show you what it's like to do a comic from start to finish, which I think is pretty cool. So we're going to start it. We're going to not only are we going to run the campaign, we're also going to we're not only going to run the campaign, we're also going to be part of it and decide what we're going to do with it. So we're going to vote on the concept. We're going to vote on the art team. We're going to vote on if we go to Kickstarter, if we send it to publishers, whatever, that whole process, we're going to be part of it. James, the car is always loud. It's always loud.
Hey, if the sound quality sucks so bad, well, I gave it my best shot. You have a 2-hour commute.
You're still waiting on a 2-hour. That's true. That's true. Were you guys moshing? I was trying to get him down for beds to be here. So no, I was not moshing. Congratulations. Thanks, Charlie. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the start. Johnny, nothing much tonight. Been stressful 2 days. Sorry for missing the last 2 live streams. Well, Johnny, you're more than welcome to come hang out with us. We're doing some stuff. James, I'll probably have to mute most of the time, but he's here.
I'm present.
David is waiting for his shirt. I'm waiting for my shirt too. We just announced that my new book may have a shirt, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something different. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. You can hear me. I'm having trouble hearing you.
So what's going on in your world? Your world is always heavy with a lot of stuff, James. What are you working on?
what's going on in my world is I'm actually trying to wrap up a project for you and Chuck. Like major problems in my day job that's taking up all my time, and I'm hoping to wrap up my anthology or that part of the broke down anthology for you guys. I'm really excited though because I'm on all the pages with all the really awesome motorcycle chase scenes and all the fun stuff that I love drawing so much. I'm excited to finish it actually.
This feels like Taxi Cab Confessions. It basically is. Yes. But yeah, James is working on a Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. He's working on a backup story for that, which is pretty cool.
Yes, Sam. I got to draw bikers riding through the woods on motorcycles and people screaming and all kinds of stuff that I love doing.
Right, sure. I hear you there. Absolutely.
After that, I've got a couple different things that I'm actually trying to plan out what I'm doing this year. My family just survived COVID. We were down for about 3 weeks. All of us got sick within days of each other.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, and then you've had, not to get too personal, but, you've had a lot of deaths in your family. Like, it's been a rough 2021. You were happy it was over.
The whole honestly, since COVID began, it hasn't been the most pleasant of times.
Right.
But honestly, Travis, I was petrified when I realized that what I had was COVID. Right. And then when I saw one of my kids was too young to get vaccinated until just now.
Right.
And I didn't make it in time. He was literally scheduled to get vaccinated the day he tested positive. And it was terrible. I don't know another word for it.
Yeah, that's our. Hey, Derek, how are you? But you're fine, and you're doing cool stuff, so things are good. You're working on comics. You and I just had Modern Mythologies that came out. We'd have a story on that. So there's stuff going on. You got Wonderland coming with your people. Pat Shan's on.
Heck yeah, I love those books. When I got a hold of the copy of the Oz one, like you sent me that creator copy from the Kickstarter, that thing is so much more gorgeous than I thought it was going to be. It was amazing, and I am so excited to see what happens with the Wonderland book. I've seen little bits that you've posted about having some of the hard copies, but I can't wait to see how the whole project comes together.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, David, Pat, anybody who's a creator, if you guys want to come and hang out and just shoot the shit, like we're going to do tonight, we're going to talk about some stuff and just kind of hanging out. Talking about the Granite State Punk Kickstarter. Just get done talking about everything. So it's been crazy.
Travis, your art on the Granite State Punk stuff looks amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super proud of it. Granite State Punk. I'm super proud of this book. It's crazy. Yeah, David, please troll. I have no problem trolling. But yeah, we're on day 2. We got a strong start. We're at $4,168. We're at 154 backers, which is great. 28 days to go. Me and Patrick putting this together has been amazing. I'm so proud of this book. It's just high quality. And dude, I haven't even started all the cool stuff. Like, check this out. We've got this cool Yankee Swappers. That's a band. Like, Watson wants a link. All right. Pat, I'll be doing them every Wednesday. These will be creator hangouts while I'm live on Kickstarter. So if you want to jump on any Wednesday, come on in. Then we don't have to hear the wonderful whatever happens over on the death machine that James is running. Michael Watson want the link. We'll give him a link. So, but yeah, we're going to do this. Oh, James WC. James is on. How are you, brother?
All right. Hopefully you can hear me.
Hold on. Let me mute James for a second and see if I can hear you.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Can we hear you now? No. Oh, James, you're quiet. What happened? Oh, James must have muted himself, I think. Oh, the Kickstarter link. Yeah, granitestatepunk.com. Hold on, I can do that. Let's do that right now. Let's add that. This is Red 5. Let me create a new banner. We can do that. One, the only, the most epic. Watson is in the house. How are you?
Travis, I have a 2 minute text. I promise I'm going to bow.
How are you? I gotta mute. You gotta mute you, James. James. All right. Thank you. I gotta mute. You gotta mute you, James. James.
Oh.
All right. Thank you. What's going on? Somebody's playing me in the background. That's what's going on. All right. We good?
Yeah, we're good now.
All right.
Yeah, I was just, I'll come on for a second, but I was just looking for your Kickstarter link so I can pledge.
Yeah, granitestatepunk.com. I always buy those URLs right there,
Oh, okay.
So if you want some punk rock, he just got Voodoo. So James, when did you get your Voodoo 2s?
Mine?
Yep, yeah. When did you get your Voodoo 2s?
Well, I don't even remember. It was probably a little while before I moved, so middle of December, maybe end of December.
No, that was expired. The one before that, the Voodoo Nations.
I don't even remember. I get so many things. It's been a while.
Well, Michael Watson finally filled out his survey and got it, relatively soon after that. I will admit, though, because he filled it out in Backerkid, I didn't see it for a couple of weeks. As they send those messages, every day and be like, "Hey, you haven't fulfilled this one thing," and there's always a reason why you didn't fulfill it. So, I sent those out for July.
Yeah, that's
July, Mr. Watson.
Yeah. And I got mine. I was all like trying to pump it up. I was like, "Yeah, I got mine, so everybody should be getting theirs now. Be on the lookout. They're all coming." And Travis is in my comments like, "You're the last one, Watson." Okay, I found the pledge level.
Lee, thank you so much. Yeah, I love it. When's Red Scare coming up? And by the way, this is a creator community, so if you want to come up and talk about your stuff. But so where did we end with 5 star? I know it just ended, right?
Yeah, we ended up cracking 5,000, 5,040.
All right, that's what's up.
Yeah, it was exciting. Okay, so the social media stuff sucks. Because I didn't even realize you had this launching today. I need to get you on Chat and Draw.
I actually, believe it or not, this is actually a 2 day in. I mean, I know it doesn't feel like it because I'm popping. Like, have you seen my numbers? I'm popping.
Yeah. You're absolutely popping.
So we're doing Chat and Draw. When are we doing Chat and Draw? Let's schedule this right now because that's interesting radio for all the people commenting, scheduling, lining up schedules. People love that.
They absolutely do.
That brings in the views.
Brian's on brings in the views, right? And Watson wants me on Chat Draw because there's a chance if I love whatever he draws that he gets a cover.
Buy it.
Let's do this Monday.
All right, I can do Monday. Let me double check, make sure there's nothing crazy. Monday's not booked for you. James is gone. What happened?
What happened to James? All right, so let me pull out. Oh, and here it is.
Make sure I'm good on Monday. I'm good on Monday, 24th. Let's do it.
Sweet. I'm putting it on my calendar right
now. What's up? We're just talking about comics and stuff. Kyle, you're more than welcome to come up. Come and talk to us. We're hanging out. We're talking about some comics and creating stuff. Andrew, you're more than welcome as well. Just private message me for the link. Javi, I did see your message, but that is a long reply, so I'm not going to do that while I'm live. Appreciate you. Like when I'm live, people love to go like, "Hey, Travis, will you tell me about blah 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 blah?" No, I will not. I do not have time. And Javi, I'm just picking on you, but like it's not just you. Like every time, do you get that too? You do your Friday hangouts. That's when someone's like, "Hey, can you talk about this panel and blah blah blah?" James?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was reading a comment.
Travis.
Yeah.
Don't hate me. I got to switch it to the 31st.
Okay. Is it because somebody else, has something a week out? Because, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. See you on the 31st.
31st, Travis. Chat and draw. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. No, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. All right. You'll send me a reminder, right? Just because I'm live and I may forget.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He will forget.
I put it.
There
I
is
put
no
in
May.
my phone that I have something on the 31st, but I have no idea of the times.
What it is.
I'll go onto your Kickstarter page and steal some art. I'll make it. I'll actually.
Right. You'll make an event, then we'll know.
Awesome.
All right.
So Creator Hangouts on Wednesday. What made you want to start doing this?
So I do this only when I've been doing it for a while, believe it or not. I actually do it only when I have a Kickstarter live. So when I have a Kickstarter live, I do these little kick things. If we have a lot of people with Kickstarters live, we help get them funded. We help raise some funds. I'm pretty good at helping people get a little bit of money. So we help people do that. But it's just kind of a thing. I don't have the bandwidth like you do to do it on the regular weekends. I don't want to be a YouTuber. That's not my goal, right? I don't care if I have 5 subscribers or I have 100. But I do feel like I have a voice in the community. Like a lot of people want to hear what I have to say. So that's why I do these things and kind of get a chance to talk when I have a chance to talk. And it's a little bit more free form.
Really?
And
I've seen you do a couple of these, and I really do like them. I've listened to some of them. But when I popped into this one, you said, I do them every Wednesday. So I didn't realize you were just doing them with the Kickstarter.
Yeah, but I have so many Kickstarters. It's almost like
It takes, a couple weeks off, and then he's back again.
We've got Cowabunga Kyle in the house. Cowabunga Kyle.
Hello there.
Oh.
Kyle worked a full day at a comic store on a Wednesday and still like, hey, 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to hang out with these losers.
I closed a half an hour early to go have a meeting with a friend locally, and then got home maybe 20 minutes ago. And now I don't know how I'm still awake, but I'm here. How's everybody doing?
Yeah. Now there's somebody who's pissed off that they couldn't get their pools today because you closed half an hour early.
Yeah, and you know what? On February 10th, I'll be moving to Green Cove Springs, and I will live 0.9 miles from the house instead of a 35-minute drive one way, and they won't have to deal with that ever again. But for now, the mom and pop is a legit mom and pop, and I'm the pop, and if I gotta close early, I gotta close early. But all my pool customers got their books today, so no worries.
Yeah. We're gonna get Andrew in this stuff.
So
the couple things. So I want to go back to Andrew. Introduce yourself real quick.
My name's Andrew, and I'm really tired. How's everybody doing?
Nice.
So go back.
Hi, Andrew.
So the reason why one of the things I wanted to say, the reason why I only do these when I have a thing live is I know that I have a strong fan base on Kickstarter, and that's not an ego thing. That's just a reality thing. Mm-hmm. So if
God bless you for that, by the way.
What's that?
God bless you for that, by the way.
Having a strong fan base? I like that. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I hate you. I hate you so much because my Kickstarter is not going well, and clearly
it's going fine. You're gonna fund. But so I use this opportunity to expose other people who may not be at that same thing, So I like to be able to do that and help out the community, because too many of these things are all about the host, and then they share the Kickstarter a couple of times, ask a few questions, and move along. This is kind of more of a
stop making this about me. I understand you're not trying to expose me. What I do on my show, it's all right. I got the hint. We don't need to continue here. I got the hint.
Well, so where are we? Are we funded yet, Andrew? You were close last time I looked, like $100 or $200 short.
I am at 613 on 750, so I'm doing all right, and it's just flatlined, and then it goes up 20%, and then it flatlines. So I got a weird experience, and looking at the graph, it's like the weirdest thing. It's like the reverse of a Six Flags roller coaster.
Yeah, it goes really high the first day, and then
So here's where we're at. Yeah, and it's but it's good. It's solid. I think people just need to know what you do. I saw some people come at you, which I thought was really stupid, that you charge that you're charging to do it. It's not that you're charging; it just guarantees you a spot. There's a difference there, and I don't think people get that, right?
It's all right. It's all right. I silenced my troll.
What's it called? Conversations and what?
Pop culture.
Conversations and pop anime. Yeah, and if you pay, it's like $10. You're guaranteed an interview. Like, why would you not do that if you're a creator for $10? Like,
say the full name again.
So if you type Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, you'll get to.
I'm on Kickstarter. What
or Conversations in Pop Culture on Kickstarter.
The first thing that shows up is Lady Mayhem. So we couldn't match up. Maybe I spelled something wrong.
If you type in Pop Anime Comics on Kickstarter,
I send it to your links.
Or you can click on the link.
All right, so hold on. So let me go to Lee. Lee, relaunch Red Scare. Let me help you. Let anybody help you. Like, your book is fantastic. That book looks great. Let's get you on some shows. Let's get you where it needs to be. I'm super excited. Tim, I get the sense that running a Kickstarter is like having daily anxiety attacks. Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it cost me a leg. That's all I'm saying.
What would you say, Watson? Especially with your elevated schedule, is it not daily anxiety? And is it easier when you're like, all right, this isn't my Kickstarter, but it is my Kickstarter because it's my company? Like, how does that feel for you?
There's a lot of that. I'd say the first one that I ever did was more anxiety than anything. This one that we just did, I was a bit nervous because it was the first time we did a 2-week Kickstarter.
Right.
But like how Travis just said, it's not my Kickstarter, but it is my Kickstarter because it's under the publisher.
All right, we're funded.
Easier.
Whoa, look at that.
Nice, congrats. But that is easier. It just, I kind of felt like Tony has a very good following. And the thing about Tony is that the dude's just fun.
Yeah.
Fun person. He's genuine. He's real. And he just goes out there and he wants to make comic books. And he wants to make people laugh. And so he's got a decent following of people. So that was pretty easy. But this is the first time that we said, let's go 2 weeks. Let's see what we can get in 2 weeks. Because we kind of feel like that middle 2 weeks is just kind of dead time.
Yeah. I only go 30 days now if it's a brand new property. Like, that's it. Yeah,
that's our rule too.
Yeah. It's a brand new property. By the way, look at Andrew's face. Look how happy he is, Kyle. You made him so happy. Look at how happy he is. He came in all sad and grumpy, and look at him. He's so happy.
Let me explain to you my day. So, has everybody ever taken a test that you studied for? And then the first question, you're like, what the fuck did I get myself into? And you go and you're deflated. And you're just like, and you're not, like, you just have a raging headache for 2 hours taking this exam. And you don't know if you passed. You don't know if you failed. You have to wait 6 weeks to find out.
Is this a first date? What?
Yeah.
So, 6 weeks? It was just like this weird test for basically getting certified in accessibility issues. And I studied for the past 4 weeks, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, nothing I studied was on this exam. And then I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I've never felt more stupid in my life than today. Right. So that's like why I'm just so messed up. And then like an interview canceled on me, and it's just been like fucked up. But thank you for funding me. So that's
people that don't feel stupid don't move forward. So I'm glad you felt that way because you're gonna grow because of it.
That's a great quote. I gotta get ready to go because I have to do some drawing. But I want to shout out Travis. This dude is a really awesome guy. Today, some stuff popped off online with something that's semi-associated with FSK. And he was the first one in my inbox checking if I was all right. Just like, hey, dude, is everything cool? Just want to make sure because I saw what happened online and whatnot. And there's not a lot of people that do stuff like that, man. I wanted to just shout Travis out how much I appreciate that.
Oh, no. I care about you guys. You know, I have a script that I really want to see your face when you read it. So that's the only reason why it hasn't been sent for your book. Like, I really like, I don't know how we're going to do that, but like, I need to get it. Like, I love you guys. I love your community. I love that you guys invite me when you guys can. So keep doing your stuff, man. And you've got a supporter all the way through. In fact, I missed a Kickstarter and I found a way to back it on BackerKit, which was great.
Hey,
Nice.
shout out to Lori Foster because she's the one that got us on BackerKit doing that. Yeah. So appreciate you, man.
All right.
I got my pledge in, and I got your date secured for Chat and Draw.
Sounds good. Let's talk. I got some business to talk to you. Try to make some time for me on the next week or so.
Okay, cool, man.
All right, cool.
All right, later, guys. Nice meeting all of you. Hey, and congrats, Andrew, on hitting. And Kyle, you're awesome for helping him hit.
Hey, what's your real name?
Mike Watson.
Mike. Good to talk to you, Mike.
How do you know most Epic is not his real name? That's really offensive, Kyle.
Especially in this day and age. You never know.
The capitalization threw it all for me.
Here he goes. Hey, I like how this guy thinks.
It should have been all caps most and then Epic real small. So just a little advice for next time.
I got you.
All right. Well, peace out. All right. So a couple things before we go into some stuff that I want to talk about. So Kyle, write this guy's name down. Adam is a Facebook friend. Tim, I hope you're on. Tim is an amazing artist. He has a very unique style. I know your store likes to display art. I think you guys would be a good fit to maybe display some of your art, maybe be able to flip some for what he does. You probably even have seen him before at a con. He's a Florida.
That's very common.
So, but yeah, make sure you guys connect. I think you guys would be good on that.
Sure.
So I got a bunch of things to talk to you guys about because I want to talk to Kyle about his exclusives.
I swear to God, I didn't do it.
I want to talk to Kyle about his exclusives. I want to do that. I want JW to move from his seat and get a copy of these printed books, or are they at a different house?
Well, I don't know if I have any right here because someone's helping me bag them up and ship them out because I can't go nowhere.
All right. So let's start with Kyle then. Kyle. And Andrew, you'll love this. Kyle runs a comic store in Jacksonville, and he is in the exclusive game. Are we on exclusive 3 for the store? Not counting little old me. I'm talking like these big image deals. What we got? Tell me what's up.
I don't know how big these deals are, but I'm very blessed. There's a lot of people that try. They submit books or they submit, a possible cover. They try to find a store they could submit for them. And I'm in a unique position where I have my own store. So I submitted something that I worked on in my downtime, something to be a cathartic release for me. And it finally got to a place where I was like, this doesn't suck. And I submitted it to Image and they were like, yeah, we like this. And I mean, it doesn't just go to the person in charge of the variant program at Image. They have to run it by the creative team in charge who owns that book, because Image is a creator-owned platform. And everybody signed off on it. And I'm moving forward with it. So my art's going to be on a variant cover for Department of Truth, issue 16.
Nice.
So, wow, that's huge. And I don't know if it's wrong to say, but I'm more excited about the Scout cover. I'm also going to be on the cover of the Recount. And I can't say I'm more proud of one cover than the other, but a part of me has to be honest. I'm more excited about my cover of the Recount.
I'm
Maybe
curious.
because, I love both books. Something about this Recount cover just really has me jilted.
So I have a question.
Questions are 50 cents a piece. Cash App, Cowabunga Comics.
So this is
and now you're no longer funded. Look at that.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is for your store, right?
Yes.
So what is that like? Because it's not just you're on an Image book or a Scout book. You're also able to distribute it yourself. You can sign it. You can make it actually part of your store. And I would imagine that changes things too, because now it's ownership. It's actually a piece of your store. And if I had a comic store or if I had an eBay exclusive, for instance, it would be like pride of ownership, I would imagine, right? So it must be even
it's a
sweeter.
great feeling knowing that my shop's the only place that people can come to get it. And I've got, the new age. I've got a group on Facebook for my comic shop and whatnot. And I've definitely seen an influx of new members requesting to join. But in addition to just having the book for sale on the website, I've got it available as you can get it signed at no extra charge. And people can select if they want it raw, naked, or raw signed.
Right.
And I make it, I could do, I put remarks for like, I think $20. You can get a remark added to it. Or, if you could get it graded CGC with signed or with a remark. So I've got a lot more options there for sure. It's exciting time to be me. I can't lie.
But one of the things, you have another Department of Truth, if I'm not correct, that's a store exclusive. That's not you, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it just came out last Wednesday.
Which is super cool.
Not today, but last Wednesday. It was art by Armando Ramirez, Department of Truth 15. And it's a really great cover. I shared that exclusive with another shop called Cobra Comics. And the owner of Cobra Comics, Mike Herman, he had the relationship with the artist, Armando Ramirez. And he was like, I really want to put this guy on. And I'm like, all right, well, let's see what he could come up with. And he came up with the conceptual sketch. And I was like, that's cool. But what if, being the artist, right? I said, what if he put like a cow skull with a cobra in it for Cobra Comics and Cowabunga Comics? So there's a skull with, so that those elements were added to our shop, and it was a self-indulgent homage, if you will, to both of our shops.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, if I ever get a Scout deal, which I'm sure I will at some point, I'm gonna buy a store exclusive for me, and it's going to be whatever book it is, kicking some sort of orange cone. So it's mine.
Absolutely.
So when that happens, just shoot me a message, and I'm gonna send you a gift. And I'm gonna allow you 3 guesses on what it's gonna be.
Hey Trish, hey Trish, how are you? No problem. I know you were on another show. No problem. You guys are more than welcome to come on. I know that you have some health issues, so if you can't because you need a little bit to recuperate, do that. But if you want to come on, you're more than welcome.
Or they might be sick of me because they were on last night.
Right? It's true. It's true. So we've got that. Do you have any more like you're working on or things you can't talk about?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, we're still on you.
Well, I'm always.
Andrew's already got his thing by far.
So I'm constantly dancing on the fence of like what's acceptable, you know that, and I've spent a lot of time on that fence recently. So I have a lot of things in the chamber. Since you've been live, I actually dropped a metal cover that I put out this evening. I just dropped it since you've been online, so you'll see it at the end of the video when you see some of your notifications. But I put out an Infinity Gauntlet metal cover featuring Deadpool and the Power Glove from Nintendo. So that's a fun thing. But Cthulhu Invades. I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can talk about that.
So yeah, there's going to be another cover for the Cthulhu Invades series by me. So that's exciting. It's in the same vein as painting over pages from the actual book,
right?
And it's proudly displayed in my shop with a not for sale sticker. And, we'll wait till the book comes out to see how how we're.
Well, that not for sale sticker, my wife laughed at the last one. I don't know about that. We'll see.
I don't know.
I don't even really like Cthulhu that much. I'm just gonna have it all over my place.
So to even talk about Cthulhu, because you released those convention exclusives. And for anybody who's interested, I put one of those because I bought a retail package from you on Kickstarter a while back, and I just sold one for $20. So those books do go for $20 plus. And so, if you got one of those and you gave me 2 and I'm keeping one of them, so I don't know if that's allowed with the retail package, but I want it, I'm doing it anyway. I actually really enjoy that book, and I enjoyed the first one with Oz, and I can't wait for Wonderland, but those variants are expensive to buy on eBay. So if you can find them on eBay, buy them now, because they're going to go up in value.
Probably saw the continuity sound of that Power Glove. This is for Kyle and for James. I do art, but I only do one form of art. It's only for Heather. Have you guys seen my art?
The paintings.
Have you seen my art, Kyle?
I've seen one. You did. You do it like once every Christmas or something.
Yeah. The frog.
Video game.
I'm hanging up, and I can move you guys around. We got the Frogger right here.
But they were 3D. They were
They're all 3D. Yeah.
built pieces. Yeah.
You got Frogger. We got Donkey Kong. And then we've got, can you see Mario up there? I spared no expense, Kyle. Like, it's not as good quality as you, but.
Oh, wow. I saw another one of my covers in the background as you did this pirouette there.
Yeah.
Broke down and who did what?
I'm trying to get it without me in the head. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
And I got a secret board over there with secret stuff. Can't show that.
We'll pause the video.
Yeah, pause it. Nice. Sean, we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about Kyle and his amazing stuff. We'll talk about me at some point.
One last thing I do have in the pipe is did a variant cover for a book that is the first release by a group of Florida creators. And the book is called Hardly Heroes. The book is currently on Indiegogo. Okay. You can tell when you read this book that it's the first time somebody wrote a book.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to say that first, but then I'm going to tell you the story behind the book, which endeared me to the whole thing. There was 4 fellas. They used to play Dungeons and Dragons together. And they had one friend. They were like, "You're not allowed to DM." And then the guy got terminal cancer. And he went, "Ha! Now you have to let me DM." So they let him write a campaign, and he DM'd until he eventually died. So they turned his campaign into a story called Hardly Heroes. So I did a variant cover for their forthcoming first issue, where you see the 4 characters playing D&D around a table, and you're looking as you're the DM. You see the DM screen in front of you. So I'm really proud of this piece. It was I wouldn't say it was emotional because I didn't know the guy, but the story, I was the most excited to create this piece than I've been to create any piece that I've done in quite some time. So I'm really excited to see how people respond to the book, respond to the story that prompted the book, and see where they go and watch them grow as creators. So I'm excited.
Well, and they're hustlers. I met them. They came down to one of our signings, and they introduced themselves, showed me their book. I backed it.
Brian told me that he met some people who knew I was. I was like, that's not a big deal.
You're like, I'm kind of a big deal in Florida. Just go around.
That doesn't mean people like me if they know who I am. But there's a local arts market here called Riverside Arts Market, and as an artist, that's where I wet my beak, for the first time and set up and got known in the Jacksonville scene. And they've paid like a year in advance for their weekly booth there. It's like $52 a week for that. So they're setting up and selling pre-orders for the book to people. So if they're able to, there's people that set up at Riverside Arts Market and they can't even make a sale. So these guys are selling, something they don't even have in hand yet. So they're going to go places.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely figure it out. Yeah,
I'm excited for them to get feedback from the first issue and then watch them evolve for sure. Right. This is a really cool time to be aware of them.
Yeah, actually, I want to show off that cover because it's really nice. I like it. And did you draw it on something, or it just looks like you drew it on something? Is that D&D character sheets?
The canvas has their character sheets laid down on it.
Oh, nice.
So I painted on top of that. And then the 3 photos of the friend that you can see in the background, they were overlaid afterwards in Photoshop.
Okay.
So what is this called? I'm curious now.
The comic book is called Hardly Heroes. It's a tongue-in-cheek fantasy comic. And you can scroll up to the top to see the of the campaign there, to see the
and David Jason Metcalf, which is that's a big grab.
Metcalf, and then below that you see Jason Sobol. He's a Jacksonville creator who did not only that cover right there, but there's a not safe for work version of that cover further down in the feed. So,
oh man, I love Jason Metcalf. He was on my show a while back. And he is so good, and he is such a nice guy.
I was excited to do this cover, and then they told me that they had secured Jason Metcalf to do a cover, and then I was kind of like, well, you know. So I'm glad that my cover turned out the way that it did.
Because is Jason local?
The Metcalf, I don't think so, but he does a lot of books. He did Gotham City Limited.
He does Gotham City stuff. Yeah.
So, you know, I asked that to a couple different. I was like, is he local? No. Apparently he's got some love for Jacksonville. Maybe he's like Ash Williams. You know, maybe Jacksonville is his happy place.
Sean, if you private message me, I can send you a link. You're more than welcome to come on and talk about your book. I know you got a Kickstarter.
Doesn't, you know, Metcalf do a lot of Kickstarter books and a lot of stuff for a lot of like creators and mainstream and indie, and he's done some stuff for Zenescope.
Yeah,
because he's been everywhere, and it's just like, you know, when I had him on, we really spoke about IDW stuff and a little bit of Zenescope, but like he's done everything, and he's like a workhorse, and he's a fascinating individual because he was like working in construction before he became into comics, and then he made the transition, and obviously he bet right.
Good.
Right.
So it's just a very interesting guy in a lot of ways, and he earned every paycheck he brings in. He really does earn it, and he's great. And if you can afford him, book him.
Amen.
Well, we need. I am so excited for when you get your first Ninja Turtles exclusive at Cowabunga. Excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited to get to a point where I can afford that. So.
You may want to share that with another store. I feel you.
Who knows, if everything goes accordingly correctly in my life in the next 2 years, you know, maybe we can all make it work.
It's true. You've asked me about variant covers in the past on what costs and what it does. Mr. Bankson, hello. So JW, tell us what arrived in the mail. Where are we at? What's going on?
Okay, well, blah,
blah, blah.
Yeah, the physical copies of Omni 1 were delivered to my old address, so I am going to have them delivered. My nephew is helping me out with some of this stuff, getting them here, but he goes to school, so I'll have them on the weekend, so I can finally get those shipped out. And after a year, it was this past year's just been horrendous. Spending 9 months waiting for an artist to do work that he never did. And yeah,
and then you know how sick he is, so you don't want to ask any money back, right?
Yeah, so I let him keep the money that I already paid.
Right.
Yeah, so the book could have been out as soon as the Kickstarter was over because nothing's really changed except for the couple extra pages that I hired people to do, which Travis actually wrote one of the backup stories in the book. So.
Thank you, Travis.
I'm super excited about that. Like I'm super excited. It was my first superhero thing. Well, debatable. I wrote 2 superhero things at like the same time. And since the other one came out first, maybe that was first. I don't know.
Well, depends. Yeah. So, and then today, like I have a story that I wrote. I was just noticed like 2015 when I was in the hospital after another surgery, and I was all hopped up on pain meds and stuff for that week. And I just like in a tablet and stuff. I just wrote this whole series, like a 4-issue miniseries.
Right.
And over the years, I was only able to type one of those issues into the computer, and I've lost the notebook that I had them written in. So I've decided to rewrite them, but I'm going to try my hand at writing a prose novel because I think the story lends itself better that way because there's just so much to it.
No, it's a great idea.
So I started that today. See, I'm about 1,000 words into it. So see how that goes. See if I can get back into that pain med induced ed space.
It's a fun space to be in. Yeah. I don't know if you hallucinated when you were on morphine, but I and purple dragons are fun.
And we've got Mike and Trish, the famous internet people.
How was your barbecue, JW?
It was good. I made way too much again, so there's a bunch in the freezer, and there's more for me to eat tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's good. Good. It's always good
Yeah.
to have, leftovers. Because I took your cue today, and I made the little barbecue weenies.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've after living not by myself for the last 6 years, I've got to learn to cook for one person. It's a little different.
Well, yeah. Go ahead,
Chris
Travis.
and Mike, we got Andrew funded tonight.
Yes. After he was all look, he's not even tired anymore because he got
Right,
funded.
look, he's so excited. He's all funded, so now we're on to stretch
He
goals.
came in like Eeyore, and he's gonna leave like Piglet.
Wow.
Don't worry, everybody. I am not taking my pants off like Winnie the Pooh. I just want to make that crystal clear. I want to get that right out of the way. If anything, my shirt's coming off, and I'm putting on pants.
But pants off is fine. That's open source. That's public domain. But if you wear a red shirt, we cannot call you Pooh Bear anymore. That is not acceptable. So what's the first stretch goal for that, Andrew?
1,000 is coming to a podcast, and then comic book theater is after that. So indie comic book theater is going to get really interesting.
Okay.
And got some cool people coming on that. Obviously, I think Corey Hardiman or Chuck is first or second. And it's going to be really
I think
fun.
you said you had some really cool people coming.
well, I'm not going to tell you who got kicked out. So, somebody got kicked out, but I don't want to say publicly.
Is it someone who I'd like to get kicked out?
Yeah, you might approve. You might send me free books if I say publicly. So I'm not good.
So we're so close to getting you funded too, Trish and Mike. You guys, you guys are at officially a week tomorrow, right?
No, like 4 days.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We launched
I thought you were on the Thursday.
on Friday. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I thought for some reason you were on the Indie Vote, their Thursday morning show, whatever that's called, the Morning Buzz or whatever. So tell us about this, guys.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, so it is Brink and Fetch Just Want to Have Fun. It is loosely based on our tabletop games, Travis, and one of the tabletop games that's loosely based on is White Wolf.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
So, and the girls just want to have a good time, but as you know, in White Wolf, it just doesn't always happen.
In White Wolf.
Well, okay.
That will get you thrown in jail.
Yep.
Prison.
Okay.
It's a beautiful book. I love some of these covers.
Yeah, we got some top tier artists. That's why I got like executive producer, because I chose all the cover artists that we had and stuff like that. Mike got to choose the editor.
You got executive producer because you do all the stuff.
Yeah.
I write, you get loud.
Right. So I went after some of the top tier people, and they agreed to work with us, and it has been a wonderful team. They're out there pushing and pulling for us, and all of our friends, and just I'm so grateful for everybody that's sharing. And if you come back, great, but if not, share, because that's me and Mike, and everybody knows us for as much as we share too. So please share.
Well, and what I'd like to see is some retail tiers, some people to throw some retail tiers up.
Oh,
yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's just a few books, retailers love your stuff, like the Collective, stuff like that. They could buy a few.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the first book, we never would have considered retail tier. You know what I mean?
Right. Sure. Well, and I would keep it small too. I don't stick people with a lot, but like do like a 10 and a 25,
Yeah.
Okay. We can definitely add that tomorrow. That's not an issue.
Yeah, because that gets people like the Collective to back. I don't know where Kyle went, but Kyle that gets someone like Kyle to back and support.
Also, not to interrupt Travis, but there are people like me who sell on eBay, and I'm always looking for new merch that's slightly different that sort of fits into what I sell. And so there's other people like who have just eBay stores, and that's a whole big market as well.
Well,
And
well,
so,
see, like we have that tier, the cover where it is Steph Wilson, but it's an homage cover to a Big Dog Inc.
Right.
For Your Soul, and it's I forget who actually did that cover, but it's an homage. So you're hitting two possible collecting streams with that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. But
So yeah, that's the Steph Wilson the cover there, and that's David Fought, and yeah, David. That was the first cover he colored and drew after he got his eyesight back from suffering from COVID.
and ruining my nice Instagram thing that I'm putting up tomorrow. Just gotta ruin it. My nice little cutout clip. You know, it's gonna be a great moment. Just have to keep ruining it as usual. Right. It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry. But yeah, we will definitely add the retail tier. We never thought of that. Should we do it as certain covers or just their choice of whatever 5 they want?
No. You want to keep your rarity. You know, that's important. Keep your rarity. So what I normally do is so if I'm doing like a 10, I'll give them 6 cover A, and then 2 and 2 of the variants, you know, of what I have, or it depends on the amount of variants that I have to keep it rare, because you want to keep it rare to them, because I'm giving them all at a flat rate. You know, I'm giving them at a decent price.
Okay. Well, tomorrow, if you don't mind, I might write you and ask you how.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just go to a Voodoo or whatever and see my pricing structures. You know, I don't know how much you're paying per book, but yeah, message me tomorrow. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Actually, that was the one thing. I looked at a lot of the printers, and I decided, and I showed my local printer that we met at a comic convention here. I showed him the pricing, and he can beat it for me, and we can actually watch the product be rolled off the machines and like record it and actually pick it up and have it in our hands.
Yeah. I just because of that, I don't know your price per copy. It's probably going to be slightly more, but you know. They also have paper, so you know we got that.
I double checked on that. He has paper, he has ink, because he does 5 other comic book creators in the area. So
yeah,
he's got all of the supplies, so there's not a supply problem. The book is completed. The only thing we have that's is we have Doug Brown, is the special cover for us that you can be drawn on for $100, and that's going to take about a month, or depending on how many people are actually on it. But yeah, that's the only thing that we're waiting on as a cover. But Jerome did all the lettering in it. Chuck edited it. I mean, we followed your game plan almost to a T, Travis.
So,
well, then they didn't, because I didn't do anything for that book.
You were busy trying to get Omni out, so don't even go there with me, or otherwise I would have hired you, but you were busy trying to fix Omni.
Yeah.
Who did you want to not hire to hire him?
Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't have changed it, but you know, just to let you know.
That's the nature of the beast. You can't
just
have
to let
the person
you know,
without getting rid of somebody.
Right.
Yeah, but JW can do colors, so you can still have that really good person and then have JW coloring. That's the secret.
Yeah, but Shauna's so much prettier than JW, so you know.
No, hold on.
I always lose out to that. Like,
JW, I think you're beautiful. I just want to make that crystal clear. It's okay. You can soundboard it. It's fine. I am perfectly comfortable with my sexuality to admit that.
So Tyler, I'm supposed to have mohawks for everything I do for the punk, and I will. The only reason why you don't have it tonight is look at this big gash on my lip. My son, right before I was about to go live, headbutted me. I was bleeding all over my face, and I did not have time to do my hair. So I will, in all future interviews, have the spike.
You should have came on with the blood and everything. That would have been more punk.
I didn't have it. I'm actually thinking about shaving the mohawk in for the rest of the month.
Well, I expect a mohawk, since I'm funded now. When we do our interview, I expect it, and I will end the interview with no mohawk.
Just end it, no mohawk, no.
It will be over. It will be over, and then for you to get back on, it will be double
mohawk.
Excuse me.
But, I'll get the reverse mohawk.
Can't say our drive check. I'm canceling my pledge. Damn, losing a lot.
I will make up Tyler's pledge if he cancels.
Right. I actually have a big. I keep looking at my Kickstarter because someone messaged me privately and he backed for like $110 and says, "Hey, I got to cancel my pledge," and I just keep waiting. He got fired. I understand. He's like, but yeah. So I'm waiting for it. It's making me nervous.
Well, no, we got that too. Somebody backed at like the $200 today, and we're like, I don't know this person. And Mike's like, I don't know this person either. And, okay, I'm supposed to let it go, but yeah, it makes us a little nervous.
Well, it always is. When I got my first person back high, I had no idea who it was. I was like, came to Travis, like, have you ever heard of this guy?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. If you want to private message me, hey, have you ever heard of this guy? You know, because I have a lot of campaigns and a lot of stuff. I'll gladly give you any insight I have because there is a couple of bad eggs. There is, but believe it or not. So this is some things. If you're watching this to learn a little bit about Kickstarter, there is actually people who have no intention of actually backing your project, and they just raise it. And what they do it for is to get the stretch goal. They feel that like you're paying too much on shipping or whatever the bullshit is, so they like try to push you up so they can get extra stuff. I think it's fucking bullshit, but whatever. But people do that. So, you can ask me, but I've had $1,000 pledge person pay on my first campaign. I had a $700 with original art. He paid, no problem, sent his stuff. So I wouldn't worry about it. There's a lot of 200 is not that much. I have tons of on this campaign right here of people I don't know who are backing that metal cover for the 100.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better, but I'm just like, because most of the people we know or can roughly guess what they are, and then it's like,
right,
yeah.
Okay.
So, Andrew's like, I want $100 backers. Who's that? And he's like, who's that guy?
No. I'm happy.
Happy?
My goal legitimately was that I was hoping to do 1,500. Because I'm not unreasonable. I set low goals.
Sure.
People saying, hey, set it at 1,000. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to set it at 750 because my theory is that the lower the goal, the higher the morality. And,
Sure.
It's just an investment strategy where you set so that you can beat your expectation. Because then it changes morality and it changes my morality. It changes how I function. And I have other revenue streams where this is not the only revenue stream that's in play. And so obviously I have quite a few tracks on how I fund and how I run my business.
Right, sure.
I'm in a very weird position where technically speaking, if my Kickstarter did not fund, I would still be doing it. And I would not be doing it at a massive loss. So it's a very weird advantage when you go into something and you have semi pre-funded.
No, I totally get that. My aunt, she wrote today and she's like, well, how do I back you and how do I get a book? Because if you might need help finishing your book. And I'm like, no, Auntie, it's to help with the printing cost and the shipping cost and to get more eyes on the prize. No, it's all done. We don't need that kind of help. But thank you. I appreciate you. But
this is what me and my parents were speaking about. Is like, oh, we'll back you $200 if you need it, and then you'll just pay us back. And I'm like, if I'm 20 short, it makes sense for you to throw $20 in. But unless I'm close enough, it doesn't make any sense. And I don't know how ethical that all is. But at the same time, it's a game. And I understand on the first one, sometimes you need that help and you need that extra push.
Well, here's the way I see about it. And that's a great conversation to have is, whether or not it's okay to throw your money in to do it. Well, you should always invest in yourself. So that never offends me. What offends me is when people do it early, right? Like when they're doing it like day 5 because they just want to be funded. They're sick of waiting it. No, like go through the process. I think you need to see that process and see what that is. Like I know what it's like to be in you guys' cases, both of you two, for your first Kickstarter is refreshing all the time, hoping, and then getting upset when it's, those early days, you're like, oh, this is going great. And then it starts to slow down and you're seeing that, right?
Then you have the days where all you have is somebody who cancels their pledge.
Right.
That day you're like negative. You're like, oh.
Oh, and even me, I felt like such an asshole. Like, so someone found out about my campaign and was like, hey, man, I didn't even see you do any marketing. And I didn't mean to come off as egotistical, but I was like, people know about Grand State Punk. I've talked about it. If you're on my email list, this and that. I was like, I don't need to market this. And he was like, and then next day he messaged me and was like, oh, I'm not doing so well in my campaign, and we launched at the same time. Can you give me some advice? And I was like, oh, I didn't mean to be a dick, because we're all at different levels, right?
Yeah.
We're all at different things. We're all different fan bases,
Oh man, I got a great Kickstarter story where something happened to me. This wasn't when I was launching, but somebody snapped at me and like tore me a new one, unjustly, I think. And what happened is that a week later, they're like, hey, do you know anybody who knows how to run Kickstarter? I'm like, you just destroyed me in an email. You really think I'm going to help you so quickly?
Right, sure.
And I still haven't gotten that book, and I'm not backing another book that guy did. I can tell you that. So, just saying, but it's kind of crazy. But yeah, no, I'm at a very different level than everybody else, clearly.
Right. And that's what we talked about on your show, is that you have had such, like, hardship, and me and Mike, I feel all the love from all of our friends and all, in this community, just like backing us, and nobody's given us any too much slack back at all that I know of.
But see, we're just making a comic. He's doing a podcast. It's not the same.
No, I have a troll, and I got no problem mentioning his name, and I don't know if I'm allowed to. So, I think it's Nick Gibson is my troll.
Trent Gibson?
Nick Gibson.
Nick Gibson.
Oh, and so the story is that, and I think it's funny, and I openly said, hey, if he wants to buy a spot, I'll be more than happy to entertain why he's trolling me. I think it'll be a great interview. I'll pay him to be on my show, because I think it'll be a fantastic interview. So what happened is that he finally stopped after I dropped the Spice Girls. So I said, stop right there. Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch. And I put up the Spice Girls song, and he had no response to me. And ever since he stopped commenting, and all he does is the laughing emoji. And I'm like, I won the war. And I'm just waiting, because I legitimately have 50 songs ready to go. I got 50 songs, and I am just waiting. And I want him to comment, because it actually got me legit like $300 out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, trolls will help you. They'll help you to get it up. Let's look at a couple of these comments real quick. Have you ever done anything like a full cover or metal cover for stretch goals or top tier rewards? I don't do them as stretch goals, but for top tier rewards, yeah, my metal covers are killing it. Like, people love my metal covers, so highly recommend doing stuff.
Yeah,
like
that one for expired was awesome.
Wendy, I had to explain to my mom with Essence House, even had to go to her house and set up a Kickstarter kind of pledge for her. Sean, yes, Superstar. Sean, I don't know what time it is in Australia, but you're more than welcome to come on and talk about fractions.
I know, who is Sean again?
Sean is in.
I'm joking, because I know Sean really well. So that's a really bad joke, because I want him to be angry at me.
Well, it's actually like morning there, so like it's probably almost lunchtime in Australia. So
now, see, with talking about the foil and the metal covers, we were told, as this is our first Kickstarter, not to do it because you're responsible for all of it. And if you keep making mistakes or they get bent, then you have to replace them. And it's just like,
it's not good for your first Kickstarter.
Right. Maybe the second one we'll think about it, but the first one, it's
people just want you to it's better to keep your goals low and your expectations low and making sure that everybody's happy, because you got to build this. Someone asked me my secret. Hey, because this Kickstarter is gangbusters compared to, the only time I get these kind of numbers is normally when I'm doing Cthulhu. So these are bigger numbers than I'm normally getting. Someone was like, hey, how are you getting those numbers? And I said, there's no secret. It's just taking care of your customers. Like, that's it. Like, I continue to do Kickstarters. I write good quality product, and I send it out at a reasonable amount of time. Rinse and repeat. Everyone who's making it, that's it. What's up, Mike?
This is one of the things that I want to say about my Kickstarter is that I understand with my Kickstarter, everybody's going to have and need their interview at different times. But I'm not going to launch another Kickstarter and what I have planned, for later in this year, until at least a good chunk of what all those people who pledged are taken care of.
Sure.
And I'm going to make sure at least they're scheduled, which I think is understandable, because if somebody needs something in October, I'm not going to I might launch something in July, for instance. But I think that's understandable. But it's the idea that I'm going to make sure everybody's scheduled and taken care of. And that's awesome, Chuck. That's awesome, Chuck, is all I'm going to say about that comment.
All right. Mike looked like he was going to say something. What are you going to say, Mike?
Well, I don't like to disagree with you, but the reason you're doing so well really has nothing to do with what you said. It just has to do with witches. You wrote
Magic
witches.
powers, right?
The moment I saw it, I seen the campaign was just going up, up, up. Witches.
Right. You're like, I liked all the other stuff, but voodoo is not witches. Witches is where it's at.
I can't support New Hampshire. Their motto is a little too strict.
I get it.
It's live free or die. I mean, it's Idaho is pretty near there, and they're just like world's best potatoes. It's like I'm just saying, New Hampshire.
Idaho is not really.
Yeah, Idaho's nowhere near New Hampshire.
The joke is ruined here. We had a good joke, and now we ruined it. So clearly, that means I have to back your campaign now. Clearly.
Yes, please. Well, you're in politics anyways. If the primary's in New Hampshire, so that's a reason to back it, right? I guess
it's a swing state. It's a swing state.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be president. I mean, let's not joke around here. I'm going to be president of the United States at some point.
Right.
I didn't say for how long, but
And then Mike Gibson will really have. Then Nick Gibson will really get it.
Live free or sorry.
So Trisha doesn't always think sometimes and just blabs off at the mouth. So the other day I was talking to my tax preparer and he's like, oh, well, that you have to do this. And then I was like, oh, I should ask Chuck about that. And then he's like, Trish, you realize I'm illegal, right? Technically. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's true.
Don't worry. I know a bunch of good lawyers.
That he knows that.
Chuck has nothing to fear. I know a bunch of good lawyers. He'll be fine. I promise. Yeah.
I've always heard that immigration lawyers are the best. That's what I've heard. Like they're primo.
No. You don't want an immigration lawyer. You want a litigating lawyer.
Right.
You want somebody who knows how to litigate and litigates extensively. You want somebody who knows how to argue and argues unbelievably well. And I just happen to know a bunch of them.
Chuck is welcome to join us. Like I said, anybody who wants to join, if you're a creator, just private message us and we're going to hang out. We are here doing stuff. Sean, Chuck, Wendy, anybody who's a creator, come and hang out. We're just kind of hanging out. We're looking at everyone's Kickstarter, seeing what's going on, just kind of chatting. I do these when I do campaigns. Hold on. I do these when I do my campaigns. So every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, next 3 weeks, I guess, because tonight counts, I'll be doing these and we'll hang out and talk and we'll see what's up. I'm thinking about doing one pro one, though, like where it's all pros to give some advice to people.
I was just going to say I'm officially a member of the club now since I have a Kickstarter. So I just want to say before all this was just me being fake, wannabe all the way, not to throw another Spice Girl song in there. I'm on a Spice Girl kick right now, everybody. Clearly. I have a problem, and I'm willing to admit it. But
you don't do comics, so...
Yeah.
Not yet, I don't. July is what I'm thinking. I'm leveraging my dividends to fund what I want to do.
But now here's my question, Travis. When you launch your toy line, like another one of our friend creators, then are you going to be that judgmental?
Yes. Yes, I am. It's funny. I was going to do some merch. I was going to do a Kickstarter merch. And the idea was, Chuck, I didn't even know you had COVID, but okay. We talked today and you didn't tell me I had COVID. All right. Well, prayers, brother. I was going to do a deck of cards for Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, and have the different the hearts things and all that. But someone talked me out of it because they're like, well, what do you want to make? Comics or do you want to make cards?
So I'm going to call BS on that because Brett, I can't think of his last name, how to say it. I think Julio, he did a deck of cards and he did poker chips and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that did really well. And so I think that's an awesome idea. And I think you'll do really well on it.
I think you should make the whole setup, that's got the Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, like poker chips and the deck, and like make a whole caddy of it.
Yeah, we definitely have a thing, but I mean, my docket's so busy. I've got January, February, March, May, June, July, October, and November for Kickstarters this year.
So we have August and September to do something.
right.
You also got to find your sweet spot for everything, to where you're able to put them out and make money on them, and they're not so expensive that people can't buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or actually, like Chuck, he does all those tournaments for the comic books.
Sure.
Like, one of those guys to like support, or back you, and be like, hey, we'll use your deck of cards and your poker chips at our table.
Yeah. I actually just got invited to that guy's show, which is cool. Sorry?
Cthulhu Invades Your Wallet.
Damn, dog.
That's the next Kickstarter, I thought. That's after Wonderland.
So I am purposely holding my money. There are 3 Kickstarters that I'm holding my money for. And Cthulhu Invades Wonderland is one of them. There's another one that I know is coming. And then Merc Magazine's going to have something that's coming out. And so, obviously, I have to pick and choose what I want to buy and how I want to buy it. So I'm just waiting for you to drop Wonderland.
Chuck, that was the one I was invited to as well. But yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Yeah, Wonderland's going to be great. So, Mike and Trish, how is it? You've been going on shows. How has it been? Is it different? Do you feel like it's different on this side of the table? Because you were invited on shows. Some nights I'd be like, oh, Mike and Trish are on a comic show. They are just fans. That's awesome. All right, cool. I'm going to go to bed now because it's 1 a.m. and I have too many questions. So it's just best if I just take a nap.
It is different. It really is. I mean, to be completely honest, we kind of had a tiff before we jumped on your show because I spend 20 hours a day at the chair, and Mike's like, you shouldn't be doing that. The doctor said 2 hours at a spot. And
welcome to my life.
The moment that the Kickstarter endangers your health, I shut the Kickstarter down.
Right, and I don't ever want it to get to that because of our friends and our family and everybody supporting us. So
that's why you got to take it easy sometimes.
Right, but I also don't want people to be like, well, they don't care about their Kickstarter. Why aren't they out there pushing it?
Most of these people do like a show a day. You were on like 5 shows
Yeah,
earlier.
I was on 5 shows today.
Saying, hey,
spinal surgery, and I was on 5 shows. Because I want people to know we want you to have this book. I'm trying to be there to push it as much as I can.
People know.
That's where I messed up. I should have been on shows from my hospital bed last year.
Probably.
I don't get invited.
Probably do it from the house.
I was. I told Mike we should launch in December. Nobody launched, and he's like, "Baby, we're in the hospital," and I'm like, "That's okay. We'll go with sympathy." And he's like, "No, I really want people to actually get the book right. He wants people to enjoy the book and don't back us for sympathy reasons."
Sure. Brian's here. Oh, sorry, Brian's moving away.
Yeah, I just turned up the heat in my room. That's all.
Well, you had Brian's arm.
Can you hear me?
We're okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ooh, sexy arm.
My first kick, I did a short life from hospital after my kidney stones. But Trish, my second Kickstarter is one of my lower ones, and the reason why is because my mom died on that one. My mom and my dad died both during Kickstarters, and I refused to talk about it. But I just disappeared for a bit, and it does affect your stuff.
Yeah.
But I also think you need to be strategic too, right? You know who's in whose group, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're on a show that's really not going to add that many more faces to that group, it's okay to miss a show. Like, don't be afraid to do that on who's connection, who's going to see it.
But
right?
it's also who else is there and what they're bringing. So, like, there are certain shows where I know that there is somebody that's kickstarting and they're fully funded. They got, they're doing $10,000, $20,000.
Beautiful.
I would like to be on that show.
All of Brian Polito's shows, you definitely say yes to.
Right, sure. But one of the things that I've noticed you haven't done is you guys haven't done an update yet. So updates are good, and updates. So one of the keys to getting Kickstarter backers, I'll tell you the secret, and this is the biggest thing. This is for you too, Andrew, and then we'll introduce Brian. Is when you do an update, share somebody else's campaign in that update. That's how you get the amount of backers. Because if I put your campaign into my update, everyone on there is willing to back Kickstarters. Every single one of them, because they backed mine. So the odds are significantly higher. And I've noticed it's about one to two backers every 100 or so. So if someone has 200 backers, you'll get about two backers from it, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up very fast.
One of the best things I did, and I did it by accident, is I got on, somebody put me at the bottom of their Kickstarter. And I don't think it has necessarily converted directly, but I think it's going to help me because they're fully funded now. And definitely I'm going to throw out their thing. And they're coming on my show too. So I'm going to be doing an update tomorrow, letting everybody know, and then mentioning their Kickstarter. And then hopefully I'll be able to convert at least one or two people. And if I'm converting somebody out of $20, $20 goes a long way for me because it's a big deal for me. Maybe not for somebody who's doing 20,000, but where I'm at in my level, $5 means something at this point.
Do you know what I just heard?
What?
$20 is $20. I'm quite sure that's what he said.
Well, no, and we're in the same boat. Is we're not looking for a ton of money. We just want more eyes on the prize.
Right.
And
it's okay to give me a ton of money.
Right. You can get all the money you want. It's just going to go to Chuck for more editing. But,
How much editing can he do? I want to roll around in the money, just a money vault.
You want to be a pig in shit rolling around.
A money bag.
$20 means something for every campaign, no matter the goal. That is absolutely true. Every dollar matters because if someone backs you for $1, that's going to share it out to their network. I just backed you on another account. I'll be honest, I backed you on another account that I have for $1 because I know that'll show off to other things. And the minute I did that, another person backed you. So the odds are somebody else saw that. It's not like I have tons of accounts, but I have one extra when I did the Advocator. So I backed it for $1. Same thing that you guys do. Mike backs me for the physical copy, but Trish will give me $1 periodically. Same kind of thing. Those dollar pledges, though, look at those.
Because on my campaign, I remember Mike backed it for a physical level or whatever, and then one of them, and the other one came back and backed for $1. And at first, I'm looking through that, I'm like, "What? That doesn't make sense." But yeah.
But
most of the time, I back it for whatever I want to actually buy, and Trish just backs it for $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Once in a great while, Trish will be like, "I want 2 separate tiers," and we'll just each back different tiers.
Right.
So I'm going to interrupt everybody, and I'm just going to say something really quickly. I definitely need Pat Chan on my podcast. So Pat Chan, shoot me an email or DM me or find me somewhere on Facebook because definitely I want to talk Zenescope and Robinhood with you because you're slaying it.
Well, you need
sorry for self-promotion. Anyway, continue, everybody.
No, Pat Chan, you should talk to.
Destiny New York. I mean, that's the book that he did that I really like.
I'm sorry. I needed to do that. It's okay, and we can talk about your tattoo too. It's all right. I promise.
Pat Chan, he's not even a fan of my work. He just likes to follow me around to see if I'll talk bad about Marcel. And I will, Pat. Just wait. So, Brian,
can I tell that story first?
No.
So,
Brian, hold on, Brian. We got to get Brian. He hasn't even got to speak yet.
Brian's here for 20 minutes and no one knows who he is yet.
So, Brian, tell us what's up.
Oh, I just thought I'd join in. That's all. I've been doing stuff on and on with my artwork and my comic books. It's just I moved this year with my family and I'm just job hunting right now. And yes, I would love to do artwork, but I have just been so busy taking care of my family at the same time. So
right, yeah, I think we all get that.
I have been trying to get back to work on. Well, I have 2 books already out: Dragon Fruit 1 and Dream Sprites Volume 1. They're both on Amazon right now. You can get them anytime you want. They're print on demand. And what I was working on was Dream Sprites Volume 2 on and off. And for the first time this year, I finally got back to it. And when I looked over it, I did post on my Instagram some of the stuff. I'm Brian the artist with the underscores between B and artist and 1112 at the end.
Okay.
And I showed that I'm still working on it. It's like an 88-page book, roughly, without all the little extra stuff that I would put in, like behind-the-scenes commentary or stuff like that. And, well, I looked at it and I realized, like, this is better than my first book, and I really want to get it done so badly.
Right.
Because it's really action-packed, and it's really funny at the same time. I'm trying to go for, well, it's scary, but it's also got family entertainment, and I kind of want to have it like a balance of scary and humor, like Ghostbusters overall.
Right.
What happens is that people have nightmares, and you know how in Native American culture there's dream catchers to stop nightmares from being made. I actually had one when I was a kid too, and it did work, but when I stopped using it, it's like, oh man, I have such crazy dreams now. So
I can't hear Brian. I'm like, can you turn it up? I'm
my
trying
mic
to.
is just lousy. If I think my mic might be lousy. If you guys can give me a sec, I have a headset that I can just plug in. The microphone's way better.
Because I'm very interested in your Native American theology or wherever you were going with it, because I am Native American and I literally was born on the reservation. So that's why I was really, I'm like, Native American?
Yeah, I noticed that it's not something typically touched with many writers, and I always found some of that stuff fascinating. I like their spirit.
You're breaking up now, Brian.
And their wisdom.
All right, Brian,
and
you're we can't hear you at all.
Hang on. Am I better now?
Yes,
yep.
yes.
My ear?
No, a friend of mine, Dustin Burnell, does a Native American book called The Listener. That's why I was curious if it was anything like that.
Okay.
No, I broke him, didn't I, Travis?
You broke him. True. What you've done is you've started to turn him to stone. I've seen this in D&D. What we need is a stone to flesh stone.
Now, Mike, you know Trish more than me. Is how many men have you seen her break in her days? Is this is? I assume this is not the first. So what are we at? What are our numbers at?
There's a pretty good number of people that have cried, I think, after Trish has been mean to them. So I definitely remember a game of White Wolf one time where I'm quite sure that guy went home and cried.
What? My Malkavian character wanted to play with soap on the floor and like, make a toys out of it or something. I forget. And he's like, we have a crime to go solve. I'm like, and this is what we're doing now. No, the Malkavian is not moving. We're making soapy toys.
You went a lot farther than that. Yeah, that would have been gentle. There was some anal lube and everything, I'm pretty sure that was you. The tears were real.
So, as much as I love talking about anal lube, I have a question for Travis. What number are you on?
For anal lube? 0.
Here.
Good answer.
What do you mean? What
beer?
Kickstarter wise?
For beer. That's what I was curious.
Oh no! This is my one and only tonight.
This is like my 5th. Clearly, I have a problem. So we started out, everybody.
No, you can drink as many beers as you want. It's a Wednesday,
We started out like up here today, and we're down here, and this is how my friends for my birthday bought me this, knowing I'm running a Kickstarter.
Oh my gosh!
This is a good idea. My friends. And they pledged too, which was very nice of them. But my friends are smart.
I'm gonna bring. I think Brian's still Yeah, Brian, you're not moving.
How many bottles of anal lube are you on, Travis?
I don't judge. I just want to make that clear.
But
He
it's
doesn't
important.
judge, but he does wonder what the number is. I mean,
I'm gonna have to make that
inquiring
sticker.
minds
I'm gonna
want
have
to
to
know.
make that sticker. How many are you on?
I'm at 0, but you know, funny.
Travis
funny
doesn't
story.
use anal lube. That's
So
the
funny
thing.
story. When my ex-wife, when my friend met her, we were helping her move. It's one of those things you get in a relationship early, and she's moving, and so I bring all my crew, and my friend had never met her before, and he literally walks out with a strap on and says, "Hey, Janice, I don't know anything about you, and I'm not judging, but from what I know from Travis, this is not going to work in your relationship, so you might want to address this now," and like literally publicly. Like, just do you want to address this? And I was like, yeah, that's not my thing. And it was interesting.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm here for you.
Thank
I
you.
accept everybody for who they are.
Do that without
I
explaining.
want to see if Brian's moving. He's not moving.
See,
Jim,
Travis,
you-
I wanted to tell you something from the book, but Mike said I can't.
Well, don't spoil it from me. I'll read it.
100%, it would spoil almost the last page.
By the way, just so you know, I don't buy books with that content normally, but I did buy yours. Just so you know.
And it's tastefully done.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
no,
if it wasn't.
honestly, like I go to
Trish,
bed.
You do
No.
not defend the book.
I know, but I'm just saying, I personally go to bed just with my panties on. I don't know, you guys just go to bed with your boxers on. Some people go to bed naked. It's just kind of a natural pose. It wasn't implied, or there wasn't a sex scene or anything
Sure.
like that, but just.
I only buy books with that in there, so I'm just letting you know.
You read Zenoscope. We understand.
Hey. I said it like 2 nights ago. I actually don't buy any of their Z-rated covers, and it is a strictly business decision. People on eBay get their accounts suspended for selling Z-rated books, and I don't want to risk my business. I guess my business does very well on eBay. It funds what I want it to fund, and I don't want to put what is making me money at risk. It has nothing to do. I don't have a problem with nudity. I have a problem when a company has a policy that might cost me money, and that's what I function. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I'd rather sell your books than a Z-rated book because eBay is not going to come after me. And as long as I'm making money, what do I care? And a Z-rated book will fetch $150, but I'd rather sell 20 of your books versus one of Zenoscope's Z-rated books.
Sure.
Or I will sell their non-risque books that are sexy but are not nude. And eBay doesn't have a problem with that because it's a business decision. But honestly, if you guys sold me books at wholesale, I might sell your books because there's nothing wrong with the cover, which is what eBay cares about. That's the only thing eBay cares about. They don't give a shit if it's nudity inside the book.
Right.
That's what eBay, they just don't want it on the cover. And the only thing I care about is my business.
So it sounds like I'm busy tomorrow, writing Travis figuring out retail tiers, and then I'll be like, Andrew, look, I made this tier.
Tomorrow you're busy.
All right, about
That's
Genesis.
Jen.
Here's the state of fantasy horror stories and
Very
covers
true.
and his marketing tools. You couldn't stick a secret to any one of those motherfuckers.
Hey, Jason shows them, Pat. Jason shows them. So let's not pretend here.
I try to sneak a secret titty in now and then, so but I self-publish, so it's okay.
Well, Russell made me that comic, the comical video.
He made a video.
Right, and it took Travis to find there's nip slip, there's nip slip, there's nip slip.
We had watched it probably 12 times
and never saw the nip slip, and it takes Travis like 2 seconds. Oop, nip slip, nip slip. It's like,
it's because you know what's there. You're like, this is boring. Like,
I'm just gonna say, Pat, anytime you want to come on, man, I'm down. Let's do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, like Jason, we'll have a great time.
It's why you can't edit your own books, because you'll miss those things.
All right, Brian, I think he's back.
Hey, I switched over to my phone, and I hope it's much better now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much
Hear
better.
you much
Awesome.
clearer.
And it's
Thankfully,
much
the
cleaner.
link Travis sent me helped a lot. I was able to just, adjust a few things, and I was able to use my phone.
What's up, Pat? Let's go. So make that happen, Andrew. Message each other. It's fine. Pat will talk to you. And if you have Pokemon cards for him, like he'll come on tomorrow. Like if you just send him some Pokemon cards, show him that they're coming. Like he'll probably come on now.
Pat, do you play Pokemon Go? Because I do. I can send you my digits.
I play Pokemon Go, but Pat probably does too. I think we're friends on Pokemon Go, aren't we, Trish?
I'll just send a whole stack of Pokemon cards to Pat. It would be great. He must love what they're doing with Sun Kuminaki and Zenoscope. He must love it.
He gets paid from Zenoscope and Pokemon cards. Like he's told me that. Like he just send him Pokemon cards. Hold on.
I've mostly just been helping my nephew play Pokemon games these days. I haven't really played any myself.
Dude, you live still? Yeah, I start at 10. I've only been on for an hour and a half. I'll be on till probably a little at 12. I'll start wrapping it up. So Brian, go ahead and tell Trish a little bit more about your story.
Yes, please do.
Well, my artistry is a blend of American and anime stuff. It was just basically because of how I enjoyed 80s animation, like DuckTales or Batman the Animated Series in the 90s. They were all done by anime studios and stuff like that. Surprisingly done by the same anime studio, actually, TMS.
And they did Big O, right?
I think...
Yeah, the people who did anime, Batman the Animated Series, and I think Batman Beyond did Big O. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You made an interesting point. I loved Big O too when I watched it. And excuse me. Basically, you know how Native American culture, they would have something like a spirit animal and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Well, basically a dream sprite is like that, except I tweaked a few things. It's more or less like comparable to an imaginary friend that you would have guide you along in your dreams. And the animal is an inner part of yourself through a little dance and some music. And, well, one of my main dream sprites is a character named Tabby. He's a gold-furred cat who has blue eyes. And the funniest thing I wrote about him is because I thought this up because of the way I drew him. He hates to be called Puss in Boots.
Right.
The first time he actually gets called that, he's just like, and he just shouts out in anger, "My name is Tabby."
Nice. And all Trish, all his stuff, he doesn't do like Kickstarter stuff. It's all on Amazon, right, Brian?
Yeah, I've not really gotten into anything Kickstarter yet. I'm not exactly sure what I would do just yet with anything like that. I've considered some ideas, but not sure what direction to really take just yet.
Nice. So since Danny's here, let's ask Danny. So, Danny, one of the things we are talking about, so you asked what we're talking about, of course, NFTs. You can buy Omni, all of Jay Sims' books in NFT. Right now, it's just $1,000, just $1,000. You can own it all. Just send it to him right now. But it's only for the next 40 minutes. So you got to send it now. And he'll figure out how to do NFTs in the next week or so and send it back in.
I just got into NFTs.
I keep hearing about this thing. I know diddly about NFTs.
I don't trust NFTs. I'll trust my long box and what I can hold over NFTs.
Is it like Rob Liefeld releasing that Prophet One as an NFT?
Right, some book, yeah. But let's ask Danny. Like Danny, Trish and Mike are thinking about doing a retail tier. What do you think is a good indie comics retail tier for you as a store owner? How many copies do you think is good for your store? You don't want too many. What's the price level? If you have some thoughts, we'd love to hear.
Right. I mean, he's going to want Steph Wilson covers.
Sure.
But all of our artists that work for us are top tier artists. So that do a lot of independent books. So I don't know what.
But you have to understand too that Steph Wilson's very relevant to us because we're in the Kickstarter thing. He's not relevant at a comic store necessarily.
So I'll throw my 2 cents into this because this is sort of my field. I think staff with Chuck and Bilal, and hopefully I said that correctly, Bilal. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but that book on eBay is going for like $50. So
Nice.
Steph Wilson covers do go for good money, and you also have to understand when you're in a comic shop that somebody's going to come in, and if it's a variant for $20, they need to be able at some point to come to they like it, and they're also going to want to resell it, and that's the theory behind it. So if you sell me a Steph for $25, I have a feeling it'll go to 40 or 50. And so there's money for the customer, there's money for the shop, and then you have to figure out from that point how to work backwards.
Right.
And this is the mistake that I think a lot of people make, and I've seen it over and over and over on Kickstarters, because I'm a comic book investing guy, is that you have to make it investable for me. So when I bought, Travis, your book for essentially like $8, I sold it for 20. I made money on your book because you made it affordable, but you made money on it too.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think people on Kickstarter don't understand.
I'll be back in a sec.
And so that's something when you're selling to a retailer, you have to understand that a comic shop has to make money, because a comic shop is not where I'm at. I'm a different entity. A comic shop has to say, okay, we're buying at a wholesale and we're not interested in holding it on to for the next 6 months. We want to sell it within 3 weeks. And that's the whole thing. And once you understand that concept and their dilemma, you then can figure out a price. And that's how you have to reverse engineer. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand. I think, Travis, you get that immediately.
Well, yeah, I think, one of my strengths is I sell to retailers. In fact, this is the first campaign that I'm not selling to retailers.
Let me get a notepad so I can read. Mike's trying to write it down on a napkin.
You're more than happy to hit me up anytime you want, both of you guys, on this, because I have a different philosophy, because I'm obviously on the investing side of things.
Testing.
We hear you, Brian.
Not to
Can you
derail
hear me?
anything.
I'm just sorry.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Okay.
And he said,
All right,
let's
thank you.
put it this way, 10 is good for Danny. He's right.
I mean, 10 was perfect for me when I think you sent me 9 or 10 of them, and it was perfect for me. And you sent me a bunch of good stuff. Probably sent me too much value, but that's not the point.
Yeah, again, my Kickstarters pay for the print run, so for me, I don't worry about that so much. And I know what you're doing with it. I know it's going to be on eBay. That's also good for me. When someone searches eBay, they find my stuff. Those are good. Those are good things.
And it's also, I have a lot of Zenescope books up, and then your stuff gets associated with that. It's a whole complicated thing.
So, but yeah, that's a great thing to consider when you're doing these things, and it helps you get a decent amount of money for the Kickstarter. Especially since you're in a good spot, Mike and Trish, because you guys aren't worried about production costs, making that money back. A lot of people who are doing this are. So their retail tiers freak them out because they know they have to give it at like the retail, like only making $1 a book or a little bit of book. So they get scared, where you don't have to live in that fear because you're like, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about long term.
So
Yeah, I just want more eyes on the prize because I do want this to be a continuing book, and you know what I mean, and expand on this world, with some other books. So I just want the eyes on issue 1, issue 2, 3, and then when we get up to 15, 20, you know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, issue 1's like $20,000 or something like that, maybe.
$20,000 goal.
Specifically $20,000. If it is $19,000, give it back. It's not worth it. We haven't made it yet.
I think I have a drinking problem, everybody. I'm just letting everybody know I got a drinking problem.
That's okay. Drink away. I would be having a drink, but I take muscle relaxers.
Everybody's slow motion on my headphones for some reason.
I got funded tonight. By luck. By complete luck. I understand completely.
It's not luck. Every time I've ever done a show, someone gets funded. I'm hoping Trish gets funded tonight. They're doing great.
Oh, are we close? We haven't looked in a while.
You guys are at 2,500, so we're 500 away. You're 2,512.
I'm probably gonna back your Kickstarter, but I have to wait like a week till I get my next paycheck.
That's not how Kickstarter works, Andrew.
Yeah.
You can back today, and it won't come out.
Come out. Yeah.
Doesn't come out for
But
26
he's
I'm
dollars.
a little bit intoxicated, so I'm not thinking clearly.
But
Right,
he's
so
also
back
going to
big.
we get the retail tier too, I bet. Right? Right? You want us to do the retail tier, and then you're going to back us, Andrew? You know,
I'm
for
probably just gonna
$70.
pick up a single book. Honestly, I just want to read your book more than anything else. But I'm right now. I'm just chilled out, and I don't know what I'm doing because I'm slightly messed up. But I don't think I'm inebriated completely.
Right.
I've been there on shows.
You know how you could tell he's not because he could say that word.
For live right now, we've got Andrew's got a live, and Tristan's got a live, and I've got a live. By the way, Dan, I got to tell you a funny story tomorrow, so I'll call you tomorrow. So we haven't talked to JW in a minute.
Yeah.
So you're
I get my leg on Monday. Yes.
So you've been doing the scooter on the thing?
Yep. I have a wheelchair, and behind me is my walker. I don't know if you can see it over one of my shoulders. Yeah. But yeah, so for the last year, I've been getting around, and so finally I get to go Monday and start walking on my leg and learning all that. So it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. Are you stoked or are you nervous?
Oh yes, I'm. Because I don't know, I haven't walked in a year, so I gotta. Will my legs still know how to do that?
I know exactly how you feel.
No.
So I'm gonna disclose something very personal. I have not walked straight in almost 5 years, and I walk with crutches. So I know exactly what it means not to walk straight, not to walk normally, and it's got to be exciting for you, man, to be able to sort of get back and up front and everything. Because
not have to.
I'm rooting for you, man, because I know exactly what that feels like. Because I
couldn't walk
up
for the last 6 months due to my spinal injury, and I just had surgery, and I have 12 weeks of recovery to go through. So I understand exactly too.
I'm rooting for you, man, and you're gonna pull through. Believe me, you're gonna pull through. You're a tough son of a bitch, and you're gonna pull through.
Bye, Brian. No problem.
Bye, Brian. Yeah, so hopefully that whole I have to go through probably 6 weeks of rehab, and hopefully after that I'll be running marathons.
And then if you're not, I'm going to be encouraging you to jump into them, and I will walk with you on crutches if necessary, and I will push you to your limits.
Yeah, it was especially since I moved in to my own place. I'm really learning what my limitations were this whole time.
You're going to break them. You're going to break them. You're going to break them, and then you're going to exceed them, and you're going to set new ones, and we're only going to move forward.
The positive vibes, Danny, is he's 6 drinks in, so he's having a good time.
I'm digging your morning. Tell us what you're cooking for the day too in the crock pot. So
yes.
That up too. I'm enjoying that.
This
every
weekend
morning.
is going to be chili, so that's what I have planned. Hot sausage chili, actually. So.
I'm buying chili fixins tomorrow when I go to the store, aren't I?
I like chili.
Sean, I feel you. I've been there.
I mean, chili doesn't always like me, but I like chili. Chili might not like you, but
I don't know why this is hilarious, but it is in so many ways. And I don't know if it's what I said or if it's my reaction. I'm not sure, but clearly something just hit a mark.
I don't know why it's having problems showing. Sean's book did well for us. That's awesome. He's got a new one live, by the way. Let me show. I can show that real quick.
No, it's the little guy. He had trouble getting the little guy to sleep.
Oh, I see.
We're all perverts. Travis,
You've been on too many shows.
I've been on no shows. It's bad. I'm the worst. I've taken such a different route. I'm doing podcasts.
Hey, and last year when my book was on Kickstarter, I had trouble getting on shows. That's how my show started, because it's I can't get any shows. I'll just do one myself.
Are you going back to your show on Friday nights with Katrina?
Yep. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll be starting back soon. I just wanted to wait till I got settled, and
Yeah,
I've never
you
made an
want a
appearance.
little bit of time.
Yeah.
I've never made an appearance, and I'm open to it. Whenever you need me, I'm down.
Yeah,
I promise I'll be more sober than tonight.
It's no problem.
Sorry, Travis, if I broke rules on your show.
Hey.
Or less sober.
I don't have any rules.
Because one of our regulars is oh geez, my brain just fried. But he's always drunk. Of course, it's 2 a.m. there.
But yeah, 2001, it's doing great. It's got 800. Drop that link. Yeah, let me show all the links. Let's get all the links dropped. We got this
AI
one.
destroys the
Mike
world.
Mike dropped a bunch earlier in the show.
I only dropped a few. I only have a few. This one.
By the way, Travis,
Yeah.
your book was the 100th Kickstarter I backed. So.
Oh, nice.
got
Nice. That Granite State Punk?
Yeah. Yep.
This one.
So I know I was getting close, but I was just checking. And
Yeah, there they are. Mike's got them for you.
yeah,
Well, I
Mike
got a
was-
couple of them. I mean, I don't have all of them listed up here right now. So, I mean,
Oh, well, that's all the Kickstarters who are on tonight, except for Andrew. We got to get Andrew's up there.
yeah, I don't have Andrew's link.
All right, I'll get it.
It's all right. It's all right. I understand. I'm funded. I'm perfectly happy. At 750, I am not making much money, but I'm not losing money, and I am super excited.
Well, yeah,
what I
but
got
I have your link. I mean, you gave it to me the other day, so it's in one of my folders. It's just,
I'm super chilled out. It's whatever. It was a drinking night anyway. After the day I had, I mean,
And
that
it's-
test kicked my ass.
and it's only
so-
Wednesday.
oh, sorry.
Hey, I knew immediately after this test I was taking about 5 days off because either way, I was taking 5 days off and
Right.
just I'm taking the L nicely and I'm chilling out. I got a few shows that I'm doing on podcasts and Monday I'm looking for a job, so that should be fun.
Danny, we're always thinking about you guys because you guys are always helping our friends like Travis and Chuck and all them. So, if we can show you a little love and appreciation by sending you Christmas cards or holiday cards, we're going to keep doing that because you are always good to our friends.
Well, plus, I mean, there was that whole story about Danny 9 panels that made
Yes,
everybody
DNP.
laugh and giggle.
Danny 9
He
panels,
was
yeah.
part of it. He was fine with it. It was fun. It made everybody smile. I mean, you need that in your life.
Right. So,
It's
yeah.
his Twitter handle.
Yeah, he could write for DC with that 9-panel thing.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So we're grateful for the collective to give a home to all of our other friends that have paved the way for us, and maybe someday the collective could be home to us.
That's what he talked about the retail tier for.
Yeah, retail tier. I'm sure that they'll get a few copies to have on the shelf.
Oh, thanks, Sean. But it's-
Sean, if you don't know, they have you guys both have Kickstarters live, so you guys can hang out. I'm gonna get my 9 panels one day. True that. So what do you guys think about the JLAs being killed off? Apparently, did you guys hear about this?
I heard about it from you today.
Oh, okay.
I replied to your post. I went to my comic shop a while back and decided to cut down on my order. And I decided DC's been annoying me. I'm getting rid of all of my DC polls except the Justice League. I just kept the Justice League.
Right.
And today you're like, they're killing the Justice League. I'm like, I guess I'm done with DC.
DC is not meant to be.
Hey, I like DC Comics, but I have a different position with DC Comics because I own AT&T stock, and they're paying me a nice dividend every quarter, so I don't really care. That's all I'm going to say. And they got a stock spinoff coming for $51 billion. That's a lot of fucking money. So I'm excited for
Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of CW, so.
Hey! If I get shares for free and I can keep my AT&T stuff, and then actually they have debt payment to AT&T, I don't care. From a money perspective, I'm loving it. So I've done well on stock spinoffs. Victoria's Secret, people called me crazy, and I am making bank on that. And Microsoft with Activision, woo! I'm on fire, baby.
Yeah, that's a big one. That Microsoft that came out of nowhere. I'm very curious of how that's going to play out. But I've said it for a long time. My brother, I have brothers who are Xbox fans. I am a PlayStation fan, and Xbox. I was like, we're not even playing in the same sport anymore. Like PlayStation is just has all the exclusive, everything good. Like Xbox can't bring anything to the table. Like
see, the only thing that Sony has against Xbox right now is Crunchyroll and the animation side. And that's where this game gets real interesting. So when Activision, because I own Activision shares, immediately I'm putting straight into Microsoft stock, and I'm buying Sony stock because of Crunchyroll. And I know this game inside out. This is like my jam. So I love it. It's getting fun, and baby, let the fight go on. I want it.
But here, 80% of all WoW players today got banned for buying gold offline, and so like all the stuff is like dead now. All the realms are dead on WoW today, and they were like
they'll figure it out.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you just got rid of all those players that have bought gold at one point or another, you're gonna have nobody playing that game. So
it's Candy Crush, baby. It's Candy Crush is all I'm saying. I love Activision.
And didn't like last year, the year before, Xbox bought Bethesda.
Yup, for 7.5.
Yeah,
it's game on. As a stockholder, I love it because I'm making money on this and straight into Microsoft, and I'm probably gonna buy more Microsoft before I even get this. Then it's gonna convert over. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a whole cash deal, and then I'm just gonna take my money and then put it right into Microsoft, and it's probably gonna be like 12 G's for me, and I love it. Like I've been an Activision fan forever. And their scandal, I got super excited when their scandal happened. Not because I want their scandal to happen, but I bought it cheap. Anytime I buy something on a discount, woo! I love it.
You know, I question whether or not Danny and I are friends. Like, I'm Marvel, he's DC, I'm PlayStation, he's Xbox. Like, what is going on? And by the way, I own both systems. I don't have any friends who play on Xbox because, they're all kids yelling at their mom.
Obviously, we're not friends anymore, so.
Mr. Pat.
How's it going?
So when are we doing an interview, Pat? Me and you.
Hey, whenever you want to, man. I'm ready.
I'm down for it. Let's figure it out.
Let's do it.
So,
I appreciate the kind words. I'm ready whenever you are, man.
It's nice to put a name to a face because I own so many of your books, so I just want
to. So she's seen your face a million times, but she never knew what your name was.
I mean, hey, thank you very much. I'm glad that someone owns the books. Thank you. That's awesome.
I only own the JoJo Siwa. I went out and got that the day it was announced. It's a mystery writer. That's it's just important to me.
Yeah, dude. That one was so weird because. It's a thing that I took on as a gig. I didn't know I was ghostwriting it, but it turns out that when you work for JoJo, everything is credited to JoJo, So when I submitted the script, it was out of my hands. It was credited to her. And then all of a sudden the book was out one day. So
right.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, right? What are you going to do?
Yeah, there's nothing that you really can't. Hold on, I see Sean P. Terry is in love with me, dude. He's a big fan. I mean, I'm from close to Jersey. I'm from Long Island.
Stuff's like spread. Now he's kissing your fucking ass right
but
there.
Don't you live
No, he's not. He's fucking around.
He's fucking around. Don't you live out in Arizona, Pat?
No. I was only in I was in Arizona once with Raven Gregory.
Okay.
I did the Amazing Arizona convention, and it's a super cool area, and I almost lived there once because I was gonna room with Raven for a while. But no, I grew up out on Long Island. I moved to California for 2 years, and now I'm back home in the land of bacon, egg, and cheese.
In Iowa?
Oh no, here on New York.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Come on.
Yeah.
No, McDonald's parking lot. Like you just gotta wait till it
Yeah.
opens. You've only got 4 hours, and that's it.
Unless you have one of those 24-hour ones, and then
This is going to be a fantastic interview between me and you. Clearly.
Hey, let's get to it. Yeah, I'm very happy to do it.
Do you guys want us to sign off and you guys just take care of this?
Yeah.
No, I am not
We
ready.
can leave you two alone if you need some,
I am not ready for Pat Chan. I will prepare. I promise.
Oh no,
I'll be a hell of fuck ton sober too.
It's gonna be so easy. I'm a very easy interview because you ask a question and I'll just bullshit for an hour and that's the fucking podcast. But yeah, Sean P. Terry and I think that we had a debate about Sopranos where this man thinks that the show jumped the shark, and I love to fight on the internet, so I was like, nah, dude. I'm not sure what that reference is. But yeah, I'm happy to talk Robin Hood, and thank you very much for having the books. That's awesome to hear.
Well, Danny, Pat, you'll come down to Florida if we pay your way, right? You'll come hang out with us.
Of course.
I'm still waiting for someone to pay for me to come to Florida. Come on.
You don't even have 2 feet. How are you going to get here? Like, you can't even walk. You literally said you don't know how to walk. How are you going to get here? Pat can walk, I think. Pat, you can walk?
I mean, sometimes, dude. I was just going up the stairs, and I feel like my pandemic weight gain is so intense that a titty hit me in the face as I was going up the stairs. So I can kind of walk, yeah.
I love when titties hit me in the face. It's a great feeling. It's like, go ahead.
It could be. It definitely could be. But yeah,
My friends.
I'll go wherever anyone pays me to go. I've gone to some real, some real shitty places.
$20 is $20.
Hey, exactly.
Hey, I take whatever somebody can give me for my Kickstarter. I'm at that point that I don't really care. Or whatever Ralph tells me to do, I'll do. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I do feel that no matter my goal, because I've set goals real low and I've set goals very high. And every pledge counts. And I still, when I see the same name sometimes over and over again, donating different amounts each campaign, it's just nice to see that people care at all. It's it does feel, it's one of those things that doesn't get old, and it's kind of cliche to say that these things in comics don't get old, even though they happen over and over and over again. But it's true, just seeing people support you and actually want to read the work, that doesn't get old at all. It's just very nice.
It's weird for me where when Travis supports me or Casey Balker supports me, or somebody, there's a bunch of people that I know that support me that I've interviewed. Like, I'm like, hey guys, like, I really appreciate that. And it means a lot to me because it says, you believe in what we're doing and that you want to be back on and you want to see this continue because it benefits. And it means more so than somebody, and while I appreciate somebody who doesn't know me is also supporting me, and that's a different feeling. It's very appreciative when somebody who I've interviewed says, hey, I want to throw $10 at you. When you support me, when Travis, you hit me up, and you supported, I'm like, I appreciate that extensively because it means that you believe. And that means a lot to me. And you respect me enough to say, hey, your project's interesting. And let me throw $10 or $15 at you. Or Chuck throws money at me. And it means a lot to me. And when people say yes to me on an interview, I'm like, I'm not saying I'm a no-name, but by no means am I a superstar podcaster. And I'm like, hey, people want to talk to me. When Ralph said yes to me, Ralph Tedesco, I was like, this is awesome. Like, when would I ever think? And the fact that you want to do an interview with me, it's so cool for me.
Yeah, Ralph is the best too. Ralph, Sean was talking about Soprano. If you want to talk about Soprano, Ralph is someone who looks like someone out of the Sopranos. He's actually a very tall, I wouldn't say intimidating, but he's a very tall, dark, handsome man. So shout to Ralph. He's a very good guy. I have to give him his props about being such an attractive, well-spoken dude, because that man also he pretty much gave me one of my main first breaks in comics. He a lot of what I do, even on Kickstarter, because I had that base of a fan base from Zenoscope. It's thanks to Ralph. So whenever I hear his name, I have to tell everyone: tall, handsome, good guy.
Well,
I mean,
actually who started us on our journey because of COVID. You know, we didn't watch a lot of these podcasts. Mike usually got his books through, the local comic shop. And then we started watching Ralph and Joe and their podcasts, and then follow Nei, who led us to Tom, who led us to Travis, and down this rabbit hole we kept following down, and now we're here.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend. Ralph has given me a lot of credibility in this space, and I was just lucky where I said, hey, I should try. Hopefully I'll get it. But I've got Raven through Ralph. I've got Dave Franchini. Obviously I've got Ebass. I got JP Roth, Dawn Mateague, and a variety of others, Keith Garvey. And so Sun Kumanaki, that was cool. And obviously I owe Zenoscope a lot. And, they know exactly who I am. And they know what I do with their books. And they're totally cool with it. And they sell me whatever I want. And they take care of me. There are things that they should not do, but they take care of me. And I know that for a fact. That's why I'm very loyal to them as a company. And I don't pretend where my loyalties lie.
So Danny, I
me.
thought you were talking about yourself, not Sean. Sean's baby. We're waiting for Sean's baby to go to sleep. That's why he wasn't on.
That's me. I'm Sean's baby.
All right. You call Sean daddy, or because you're Spanish you go pape?
Baby.
I can't say it sexy like a Spanish like chick. Like they say how do they say it? Pep.
The rest of this bottle
I can't
is
do it.
for that statement.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, it's like you got all these creators out here. The only person I've backed is friggin' Sean, and again, because I backed the bar like a couple months back. It's like Andrew's over here yapping. I still don't know the name of his book.
You don't have a book.
I don't have a book. That's great.
He's got a podcast you're back.
Oh, he's the podcast guy.
Yeah.
So what's Pat's book?
Oh, my book.
You carry his books. He's too good for Kickstarter.
No. I do Destiny New York, Prison Witch, Thirsty.
Hold on, you did Destiny NY for Black Mask?
Yeah, we do it as Kickstarter first, and then single issues through Black Mask. Yeah.
Cool beans. I do have your books in the store. I think Travis may have bought one of your books from my store once.
And then we actually just launched a few days ago.
So I was on your guys, and I know you guys were talking about doing the retail tier. So I was actually about to just go ahead and at least pledge for $1, so you have our backer. And then once you add that, we'll just up it to whatever it may be.
Well, you kind of give us a hint to what you want, and we will accommodate.
He did earlier.
10 of 8.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll look.
6 and 4, or 6, 2 and 2.
I'll take $1
Also
from
has
you.
tons of Zenoscope stuff coming out too, Danny. How does Zenoscope do at the collective? Just a couple of
I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this correctly. Zenoscope's like the ones that do like Robin Hood and stuff like that for, like the female.
Some Van Helsing, bro.
The women.
Yeah. So when I came on, we were ordering Zero Cenoscope for the wall, which I understand a lot of stores kind of work in that, especially because some of those books are like on issues not number 1. And then I actually want to say when one of the Van Helsing related things came out and it was a number 1, I ordered like 5 and they sold out. And so now I order a decent amount. And when I say decent amount again, like for indie, 7 to 10 is like our comfortable number. I mean, a lot of times that is a sellout, but you'd rather sell out than have 10 more copies sitting on your shelf, you know? So we do well with that. And it's a mixture of what I like to call the very pretty artwork, and the stories have actually been really good lately. The annuals and specials do good for us.
So I love reading Zenoscope, and one of the best things I've ever done is buy a Comixology subscription. And I'm going through Zenoscope's library. So I'm going through Neverland, I'm going through Van Helsing, I'm going through Oz. And I don't want to own everything from Zenoscope. Don't get me wrong, I love Zenoscope, but I'm an exclusive guy. So I like buying the $20 eBass. And I like looking at it. And, I kind of like keeping that, and I like tits and ass. So there you
And
go.
that's what I'm saying. So like I sell because obviously they tend to do 2 to 3 covers, which I think is I feel like 2 to 3 covers is the comfortable spot. I just had a friggin' Spawn book come out the other day with 8 covers, and that's clearly too many. It's just
way too many.
Yeah.
So I mean, 4 is a 4 under 5 or under. You're good in my book, but you hit over that, you're kind of making me tough, unless one may be a secret cover or something like that. I know Travis, Jonathan, Sean even kind of
or Zenescope has these store exclusives or retail exclusives.
Yeah.
Like
So it's like I can work with that, but typically 3 covers for most Zenescope books, and I'll order like 2 or 3A, 2 or 3B, or whatever the bet, the sexy one might be.
Like the Michael D. Pascal is coming on my show on Saturday. He has a C cover or a D cover usually.
Yep. So we do well with it. I also, it actually does better than Dynamite. I hope Nick Ferrucci is not watching. But it does better than Dynamite, surprisingly enough.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's cool to hear.
Dynamite's not breaking the bank, paying the rent, but yeah, it's definitely doing better than Dynamite.
Yeah, I learned quite a lot from them. They have a method to the madness for the exclusives and the covers. They do cover A is an iconic cover. Cover B is an action cover or a story-based cover. And cover C is the cheesecake cover. So no matter what reason you read Zenescope for or collect Zenescope, there's always something for you.
And then there's cover E, D, and F, essentially, which is what they are selling on their live streams.
Yeah.
And they do. I want to say, and I don't typically participate because it's what Bad Idea did, and I wasn't a fan. But I do think they occasionally do something like a pre-order bundle thing, and they're exclusive covers. But as the store, you're committing to whatever the whole run of it is, which Valiant used to do. And I'm still receiving Exo Manowar with 0 subs because we signed up for the pre-order bundle 2 years ago.
So
make it a comeback.
And they're going right
into make a comeback.
I mean, I'm a Zenescope guy, and obviously I love what they're doing with their Pokemon covers. I think it's brilliant. And I have a subscription. I know how to make money with Zenescope. I'll tell the secret. It's the first 3 or 4 covers of every single set that they're doing with their sticker program is the way you make money. And everything after that month doesn't matter as far as a comic book investor. Some people may or may not agree with me. That's fine. But I know exactly how to make bank with Zenescope.
Andrew, are you a comic book investor kind of sort of?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have one question I just want to ask because I came from collecting to retail, and I still haven't been able to wrap my mind around a lot of this. Modern speculation. Best to get rid of it as soon as it's hot or a hold type of item?
Depends on the book.
Last week's Store 20. Do you get rid of it as soon as you can get the $30-$40? Are you sending it to CGC and hoping for a 9.8?
I don't send to CGC on anything that I'm speccing for 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
So I'll explain my theory here. I have divided my investor position 3, 6, 5, 10. So what that means, 5 is 5 years, 10 years. I have 2 Ultimate Fallout 4s that I got for free at Midtown Comics during Free Comic Book Day. Those books are holds for at least 3 to 5 years. A Zenescope book, I just bought the Sunkuma Naki book that just came out New Year's. Okay. That is a 3-month hold at best. Okay. I just sold one of those for $50. So clearly I sold it and then I bought another one for my own personal collection. So I essentially shorted the book. So when I go through this, that's how I determine my positions. So there are books for 3 months, 6 months, 5 years. There's books for 1 year, and you could have as many buckets as you want. So when I'm speccing and I'm going, that's how I determine everything. And it's very different where I am very meticulous about how I do this. This is run as a corporate business, and I am shrewd as fuck.
I like
it. But I'm not a comic shop. The difference is that
I only ask because you occasionally we get bounce backs every once in a while. Right. Somebody doesn't want the key book because they're stopped reading it, and it's like, oh my god, this is You're 2 months late on picking up your subscription already or whatnot. And now you're bouncing me back at Thor 20. What do I do?
But we're not talking about cover A's anymore. I'm talking about the 350 books. I'm talking about the 375 books. Those are different games. There's a reason why I only play in those games. I'm interested in limited print runs. And
so I gotcha.
That's how I function. Now, there's every once in a while, like I pick up, I'm specking heavy on Cowboy Bebop books. And I know for a fact, and whether people agree with me or not.
Netflix success?
That guy.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that. That's not why I played off of that. I just know that it's a big
long game. I get it.
No. Because I know for a fact that there are Cowboy Bebop fans, and there's this idea that all these people are going to say, "Hey, I want Cowboy Bebop," and 5 years from now, I'm going to be like, "Man, there's a comic for Cowboy Bebop," because I've seen it with Cobra Kai books. That's what I've seen, and I've seen the other side of this.
And this could be very circumstantial. Somebody did call the store and added Cowboy Bebop to their sub in the left friggin' field. I'm just like, yeah, I do think that book is still coming out. Because again, it was really confusing. It's the second time that's happened to us as retailers in the last 6 months that a Netflix show that's superhero related gets canceled before the first issue of the show's comic book comes out.
Right.
Jupiter's Legacy.
I know for a fact that Cowboy Bebop as a comic book is going to be worth $40 to $60 for the first 4 issues. I just know it. And I don't know how I know it. I just know there's real money. That's why when I order my books from Midtown, because that's where I order from right now, that I've ordered 2, and in certain circumstances I've ordered 3, 4, 5, and there's all these exclusives that I ordered because I know I'm going to make money on it. I know that I'm going to make a 4 to 6x on it. Easy. Ooh. And in about 2 to 3 years. I know it. And I have a set, and I just know it. And I think that people, for the first 4 issues, are going to be looking at certain books, and they're going to realize real quick what the hell it is and how they connect. And I'm just saying the Claudia Iannicello books connect, guys. So, and she was on my show. So, hey, they connect.
Well, let's introduce Sean, because Sean hasn't been here. Pat hasn't even really got a chance to talk either. Pat, you open any new cool Pokemon lately? Any of the Pokemons?
All the time.
All the Pokemons.
Yeah.
So, Danny, how many Pokemons and plane tickets can you get him to come and he'll do a signing for Destiny New York?
If he wants to pay for,
hey, what's the deal? Oh, Sean, I got to hear this deal. What's the deal? What you got for Pat?
What are we doing?
He needs
how many Pokemon are you giving
Pat to come see you? You need to pay for his plane ticket and give him Pokemons.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it.
We'll open the Pokemons live on a stream.
Sure.
Yeah, I would do it in a stream. I'd say my price is 2 booster boxes of a set of my choice. I would definitely do that.
That's a good deal.
So Logan Paul shit?
Yeah. Except Pokemon, maybe.
Yeah, actually have Pokemon cards in the box, not some G.I. Joe action. Yeah.
Hey, knowing is half the battle.
That's right.
So,
Joe.
Sean asked earlier, I forgot if we sold out of his book. I have 1 A cover left, and then I still kind of have, because I haven't decided what to do with it. I think your black and white. I mean, I know it's the more limited cover. I don't know what you officially call it, but it's the black and white one. I still have
just a variant, honestly.
Yeah.
Guys, I know. I think you placed the order for maybe 6 or 8, and I threw a few extra ones in there. I figure if you move them, you move them. Otherwise, guys from the store can have them.
No, I mean, and obviously, I always buy. Travis has seen me do it. I always buy a copy of the book, and I always never take my employee discount when I do one of the Kickstarter books, because I want the store to still be able to make their money and everything like that. But yeah, I grabbed a copy and I read it, and Joe, who was on the show, bought a copy and read it and loved it. I had a guy add it, and I tell guys this all the time, and it's my favorite feeling, even though it puts me in a tough spot. I had a guy add it to his subscription, and I kind of explained to him, I said, it's independent, so it might be a while, but
it won't. It won't though. Not too long of a while. That issue 2 should be out in March. So,
I love it. I tell them typically, I say on a normal basis, and if all you guys are creators, I tell them 3 to 4 months is sometimes between issues on a Kickstarter project. I know Travis because he has so many different projects. It's a little longer with like Voodoo,
Right.
but I feel like you want to at least do 2 a year, right?
Yeah, I mean, our plan is to get as many as we can out. It's just that's financially, and apparently, when you don't pay an artist enough, they're like, "This is a hobby for me, and this is a hobby for you." It gets really weird, and
They
then
just start like drawing while they're eating cereal. Like they're just like, oh, all right, I guess I'll call this guy.
Apparently, if you pay them more, they'll quit their job and do comics for you. But I've also had people pay artists tons of money and then they do less. So it does work both ways.
It was one time, Travis. I promise. My art style is up to your level.
It's a joke,
I
Andrew.
swear.
That is a thing that creators talk about on the regular. There's a balance of how much money you can give a creator to get things done versus how much, if you give them too much, they'll do nothing. It's this weird juggling thing because you want to give them enough to like, I'm a priority, but not enough that they'll be like, dude, I'm just going to spend this money.
I never had this problem with an editor. Like my podcast editor back in the day, gave him $50 an episode. Super thrilled. Always made me a priority.
Thrilled. So I just laughed because when I was on the college newspaper, none of us got paid.
Right.
But we were here in Orlando while UCF was like claiming national championships and ridiculous stuff like that. So there was a lot of opportunities. Like, oh, do you want to go to Peach Bowl? Do you want to go here? You want to go here? And it's like the school wasn't going to pay for that, but like I wanted to go, and I was a writer. And you guys might get this as being like either a writer or an artist. So I'm a writer. I need a photographer. Like it can't operate without pictures in the article, So I'm like, shit, how do I convince somebody else to want to spend like $300? And I'd be like, oh, dude, if you go, I'll pay for all the food and I'll get you a box of Pokemon or wherever I was working at the time. Like I'll get you discounted. Like, oh, I work at the food place, dude. You'll get 50% off for the whole year. Like I'm sitting here trying to convince homeboy, like, dude, come. And half of them, because it was cool to go to the Peach Bowl and stuff like that. We're like, dude, I'll do it for free, man. I'll go.
I would go to the Peach Bowl. I would pay you to go to the Peach Bowl.
But just to remind you, Pat does not do it for free. He wants 2 boxes of his choice.
I do.
Logan Paul Pokemon boxes.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna give him Pokemon boxes with Logan Paul's face on them. All right, I promise.
I'm not giving you my special bid off Pokemon card that I just got like 2 months ago. That's not coming to
Pat,
you.
though, very good to see you, Pat. I don't think we've ever been on a show together. I've known Pat for a couple years. He's always I put like him and Travis kind of in the same group of creators, kind of like the gracious creators, the mentor creators. They think that Travis, you shake your head, but it's true, right? These are 2 people that have taken time for me in the past. I'm sure other people. So I think it's always good that we acknowledge that. It's such a good group, even with Danny and the collective. If every shop would carry Indy would cease to be Indy, right? So I guess I can't acknowledge and thank enough when people do take that kind of a time,
So I'm gonna call out Sean a little bit because me and Sean need to do a show at some point.
You
and
just
we have
need
to
a show with everybody on here.
Andrew's just booking people. He's got Travis.
I need to book you too.
You're booking
So don't speak.
Danny, I have to book myself on you so you can move those books so I can help you with that.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. Well, especially if you're going to do another issue in March, we'll get you back on so we can let people know that the series.
Well, first off, I'm the one who's
you can
booking
go
everybody.
over to Andrew. Andrew could get Andrew.
I'm on first dibs here.
I've got it.
I've got it. Seconds.
I've got it. All right. So James, you need to learn how to walk again. Trish, you guys need to get a retail tier so Danny can fund it. Pat
I actually just pledged
Danny,
$1.
calm down. I'm not on you yet. I'm on Pat. Pat needs 2 boxes of Pokemon and a flyer. Sean needs to get funded. Andrew needs to stop drinking. Danny,
Clearly, I have a problem.
You said you had a bad day. Like, why are you awake? Like, comics.
Me?
This is you don't get paid for this.
Who?
Why are you here?
Me?
Yeah.
Yesterday was a bad day. Today was all right. I mean, I had
Travis. When you say I'm drinking too much, I had the bad day. Danny had a decent day today. So clearly.
But
Danny, do you want the scratch and sniff bra and panty sets that come with the extra stuff too?
Yes. Is this off the record? Is this being what? No.
Danny, as your lawyer.
Our Kickstarter that nobody else had with scratch and sniff bra and panty stickers, and I want to make it a thing on TikTok.
Oh, that
I'll
is kinda-
oh yes, scratch and
So
smell
people-
that panty.
Who makes scratch and sniff stickers?
I do.
Oh, you make them yourself?
Yeah, don't ask questions. It's just better not.
You don't want to know.
I don't know
you're
where
on
it
my
is.
show
You don't
already.
want to know what
But-
goes in the sausage.
Right, but like I have these scratch and sniff little socks too. But Russell Allen calls them nuttin' socks because you only get one because it's for each girl.
Hey, I have a whole drawer of one sock.
Technically, Technically, JW, wouldn't you just keep both socks and then you'd have two?
But I don't have to pair them together. I take them right out of the dryer and put them in the drawer.
You definitely don't. But I'm saying, you still
I mean,
keep both
guys,
socks.
it's no mercy here. I mean, these are Cobra Kai. Clearly, we know what side I'm on. So
Well, I just want to tell you that these are professionally drawn bra and panty stickers. I asked Sergio, and he's like, "You want what, Trish?" And I'm like, "I want a bra and panty set like you draw in my comic." And he's like,
Like your French girls?
"Yeah." I'm like, you just want the bra and panty, no girl inside, just the bra. And I'm like, yeah.
But that's the
hey,
thing.
I like those matches in
What-
WWE. I'm not gonna pretend.
I just did somebody's backer survey. I think it might have been Jared LeJuan's for All the Devils Are Here or something like that. But in it, he asked at the very bottom, what other things like can I provide like to help the store? And any indie publisher, and honestly, Travis, I know Orange Cone isn't quite in that stratosphere, but a company that publishes books like Travis, what I tell every indie company, if you can provide me just this little like square box that can fit 2 comics and it'll have your company's logo, like Orange Cone Production Comics sold here. That'd be awesome. But I know that costs money, and I'm not asking anybody to lose money on our.
Hey, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's always helpful to know because it's so hard. Not all retailers are even open to have comics from Kickstarters at all. You know, so
know.
to
Can I
know
just
how
send you some
to
buttons,
reach
Danny?
is important.
No, and that's what I was gonna say. Even if it's just little buttons, little stickers, bookmarks was what I wrote in there as well. Any little freebie. I think William Samuel Quinton does like almost like a little trading card, like any little thing that if somebody buys it, because here's the thing, it's not going to help sell the book. I think in retailers, people, that's a misconception. What it's going to do is when they buy the book, they're then going to be even more excited because they got something else on top of the purchase that they were already comfortable making. So that's why I typically say like a little tchotchke, as we call them sometimes, is awesome.
I definitely
don't
throw
get me
that in the
wrong.
package. That's easy peasy for me.
Oh, absolutely. I don't pretend. When I look at Kickstarters that I'm backing, if you can have a stretch goal that's cool, that changes how I view things. Because there's a million books that are great. And that's where I'm at now, is that what are you bringing to the table? I guarantee you, you want to win my Kickstarter vote? Metal cards. If you have a metal card, the likelihood of me backing your campaign is so much higher. When somebody says, I got a metal card, I'm in.
But see, but for us as first time goer out, we were told leave metal alone, leave holographs alone, leave all that kind of stuff alone for our first one. So no.
It's not. What I'm trying to say is that if somebody says, hey, I have a metal card and we need to reach 30,000, now I'm enticed to back your thing.
I think what he's also saying is that also gets people to be like, "Oh, I'm going to share this out because I don't have too much more money to throw into it, but I want all my friends to back this so that they can get to 30,000 or whatever that stretch goal is."
Yeah, and I mean that's also kind of an advanced reward too. So I wouldn't even say do it on campaign number 1, but on 2, 3, 4, and 5 for sure. I've changed the rewards that I give over time based on, you know, what the campaign is, how many people I think are going to back it, but also too just observing what works for me. Like I started out, my first campaign was Destiny New York Volume 1. I did like 20 prints, and to be real, that's so far too many, so far too many. So now I do like tops. I'll do 3 prints on an art card. That's more of a cardboard thing. It feels a bit more substantial. It's more manageable. There's less of a chance for damage, they all fit nicely in, and that's how I've adjusted how I do prints. And I just think that every campaign you do learn a lesson about how you can better rewards. And metal cards,
no question about that. I
And
mean,
metal
I
cards sound cool
probably
as heck. Yeah, like we haven't had one that does it yet. But I was just gonna say Travis, and it's probably because he's been doing this for so long. But when he comes to a signing, he shows up with a damn Vans box just full of swag, like, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, you want some stickers? Here you go. Open this up. I'll take as many as you want." You know, and it's just like, and to some
He's
people,
a professional.
that's awesome. You
So
know?
I mean, well, one of the things that I'm going to be doing, and I'm very honest. So I'm funded on my Kickstarter as of like an hour and a half ago. So real dude to get
Shout out to
funded.
Kyle Willis.
Did not think that I would get there. But what now has to happen is I need to print 121 metal cards, and my person who I have to deal with is going to get half of them, of all the ones that don't sell, and it's pretty much from there. That's going to become free swag for a bunch of people because I'll try to sell a few of them, but in reality, I'm going to be sending out a bunch of them to people who have supported me, bunch of other stuff. It's just going to be like, hey, I'm going to throw it into my eBay orders, all sorts of stuff. And that's really what I want because I'm a metal card guy. And it's going to be fun to produce a metal card. I produced that concept because I wanted a metal card with my friend DJ Croft. And he's going to sell 60 of that in an instant because that guy knows, and I know that I just built him a metal card business. So I know it.
I've never backed a Kickstarter as like just like a customer, I guess. You know, I've always been doing it with the store. I was introduced to Kickstarter with Travis's. That's the first time. But like, do you guys, because I'm sure all you guys have done one, is when you randomly throw extra swag in there, like something that you did and maybe you overprinted or whatever, and it wasn't a stretch goal, those guys weren't expecting it. Do you guys get positive feedback? Like, do you guys get people being like, oh, thanks so much for the postcard, or thanks so much for the print, or, you know, whatever? Like, have you guys experienced that yet?
I can only speak as a customer where this is my first Kickstarter, so I can only speak as a customer where when somebody threw me a free book, I'm like, I'm getting a free book? What the fuck? This is awesome, dude. Okay. Thank you, is my response. Where I did not expect that. I just backed him by Jim Noble, and he threw me a free book in, and I'm like, oh, shit. I did not expect that. And then he told me on like a show that he was on, I'm getting a free book. What? Like, I didn't know that. So I was like, dude, this is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. So for me, that's how I view it. But when somebody throws me free swag, I love it. I mean, that's how I view it. But obviously, I haven't thrown free swag because I'm not in that position at the moment. So a lot of my goals are digital.
Whitney's in the chat, and I'll show. I've already done buttons for her book that's not even out yet.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I do see an Omni one there.
I know. I have Omni ones, and I make all these buttons already. So if you want swag, I got bags of swag.
That's awesome.
And then
Bags of swag.
From my
perspective, these are my stickers I make myself. This is our Jason Booth stickers.
Can I scratch them and sniff them?
No, but you can scratch and sniff. I got my fetch sock.
Oh, that's the sock you're talking about. So
right, you get one sock because it's magical how when you do laundry, usually, JW, this does not apply to you, you always lose one sock. It's
I was
like
gonna say, I think we found out that JW's just been stealing everybody.
Everyone's socks.
Right.
But just the right socks, though.
Right. So you
JW, we've been
All
over
right,
this.
so Pat and Sean answer that question because you guys do Kickstarters.
Yeah, Danny,
it smells really good.
That was really
it smells like, but
question.
It smells pretty.
I think that, you know, it's hard to say because when there's a specific interaction about a bonus thing, then is when I hear back. Like, for instance, say if someone is the 100th backer, I'll reach out and I'll say, hey, you're backer 100, you're getting this. And when they get that, then I'll hear a positive thing. The reason that I think that if there's no interaction, that backers don't feel extra grateful for rewards that weren't listed was because generally active Kickstarter backers, by the time that the books actually come, don't remember what they backed for. So what they're getting, they're like, oh, this is what I ordered. And that's fine. But that's my experience in that, I do try to give extra rewards and I don't hear back. And that is almost for sure why I think that is, because I'll often get people messaging me, "Hey, what did I get?" And I'll have to remind them. So that's I think that's the reason why.
See, we have certificates because that's what we were planning too. Like, hey, you were backer 100 because as you guys have ran Kickstarters, you understand you don't know who ABQ Donovan is. You know what I mean? That doesn't ring a bell with us, and so ABQ Donovan is going to get special bonus. Hey, you were, and I'll put a little thing in there. You were backer 100. You were the one that put us at our 3,000 gold. You were the one that put us at the next stretch gold. I'm going to put that in people's packages. You know what I mean? Because I can't. You're not supposed to announce who. Hey, guess what? You're supposed to do this because Kickstarter makes you sign that. You can't use the names. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So for me, I've gotten personal notes from people, and I've only gotten it once. And I could tell you when I got that personal note, and it was from Sean, who wrote, with Chuck on the book, and I was like, oh shit, and he made it personal. And that's something that I think is really cool. So that changed the way I view things very much. So when you make it personal, I think that also affects how things are done, because now I'm like, oh shit, you sent me a Post-it note? And you actually said, hey, man, your interview is great. Thank you for the interview. It means a lot to me because now it's personal. And I think that's something with Kickstarter. They might make you sign that thing. But at the end of the day, when you're doing something on Kickstarter, it is very personal. It's not in a comic shop. It's a very personal thing. I mean, look at me. I'm doing a bunch of interviews and booking guest spots. That is the definition of personal. None of my interviews are the same. Nothing is generic. So if I'm to interview Pat, it's going to be a very personal interview. When I interview Travis, it's personal. So
Pat's going to open some Pokemon.
Shirtless only.
I mean, I've done it before.
Dude, Long Island, I believe shirtless all day, bro.
It's true. Yeah, Raven and I, we did a podcast together, Raven Gregory, and he took his shirt off, and I just had to compete, have a little man-titty contest.
Hey, I got drunk.
I'll be right back, you guys. I have to go feed my cats. We'll be back in like 10.
All right.
I completely fucked up with Raven.
That?
That was a great interview.
What do you do special when you send out stuff with the bar and stuff? I mean, I know you hooked me up. I was like shocked. I was like, what is all this?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a particular, how do we do this? The answer is not so much, right? Not my site. I think it's about connecting with people. I think it's about making people feel good. I did a few things with the bar. I did do some personal notes to a few people. A couple people maybe I upgraded to a signed book that hadn't gotten a signed one, or I included a copy of something that I thought they might like if they were a friend. And even for a couple backers that only pledged $1, I ended up hooking them up with a digital copy, right? Because the intent was there, maybe just the funds weren't, right? So and I think what all that does is the same thing that these kinds of hangouts do. It just builds goodwill with people. If they couldn't back you, they couldn't afford to this time, maybe they'll remember you now next time. And it's about getting the work out there too, right? So a couple people, I tried to my last campaign upgrade everybody if I could, even if it was in a smaller way. Maybe giving them like We as Americans, which is older book of mine. So there's always probably something you can do. There's something you can do for free too, which is like to sign a book, right? So I think it's depending on do you have the bandwidth, do you have the effort to be able to put in to do that? Some campaigns you have more of it, some you have less. I think it's probably easier thing to do when you're doing maybe 75 fulfillments versus 500, right? But either way, there's always, I think, the effort that you can make. And as far as hearing back from people, I heard back from a lot of people, honestly. To Pat's point, whereas people sometimes don't know what they're getting. There's a few people that said, "Hey, I upgraded you. Here's this other book." So wow, thank you. I got a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome. So one thing I'll say, because for Trish and Mike, I end up telling them 10 copies. Travis, I tend to do like somewhere in 20 copies. But on the smaller retailer tiers, like with 6, and Jared Wands, I think is also in like that range. especially if the book's priced up. When you guys hook us up and toss like 2 or 3 extra, it seems like nothing, but it allows me to bring the price down a little bit and make it easier for the customer, and then everybody's still making money and I sell out. So like stuff like that is also awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is it shouldn't be lost on a lot of us creators that when a retailer's taking our stuff, they're not taking something with Spider-Man on the cover, right? They're not guaranteed that sale. So whatever you can do to spread that goodwill or to ease that price point or whatever, it makes sense, right? So
I mean, honestly, is it better for us just to say, "Hey, Danny, after we get our books, what do you want?" And
Well,
can we do
hang
it for a few
hang
bucks?
on.
I
That
mean,
works just for Danny. That doesn't work for other realtors.
And I was gonna say it's not gonna work. It's not gonna help you guys because then I'm not putting the funds into your Kickstarter to help you fund. Granted, it seems like you guys are gonna fund, but so like here's what 2 examples, and I don't think I'm blowing anything up here, but like so people have retailer tiers. Like Sean had a retailer tier on his current one, and he had a few retailer tiers. And then I've had people that don't quite have retailer tiers either for contractual reasons or reasons of like not trusting, because I have heard that people who aren't retailers will try to back it because these books are limited, they're exclusive, and they're going to get them to sell.
So somebody like me who runs an eBay store might be in a weird position.
You're still at least very much legitimate in the sense that some, exactly. Some people are scared of that. So,
yeah, I'm a unique breed.
Yeah.
That I'm slightly different. I'll shoot you a message if I want
and
it.
you know these people, so that helps,
Yeah.
But so the people that don't do that then tell me, well, go ahead and back under the no reward tier or even the digital tier for this amount, and we will send you that many books. And sometimes that does work better. And the goal for us, and granted, for us, like, yes, it's cheaper if I just send you a PayPal thing and you send me books. It is cheaper. But that's not the point of what we're doing here. It's the same reason I don't take my employee discount when I'm buying one of your guys' books at the store. It's like we're here to make sure you guys are going to get funded, that you guys can print your book. Because again, if we fund it and you guys, or if we back it and you guys don't fund, well, it does nobody any good, or if you're telling us to wait. Yeah.
It's a problem I have as a podcast because I have 2 tracks of monetization. I have off Kickstarter monetization and I have on Kickstarter monetization, because I don't want to run a Kickstarter for at least my podcast, every 3 months. So there is one shot. And so if I run it, whether it's in January, December, November, if you want to go that route, that's fine. But let's say you want to go off Kickstarter, that has a whole separate entity for my business. And there are reasons why I might go one route or the other. I don't want to sell more than 10 on Kickstarter, but I'll sell 50. Hell, I'll sell 100 off Kickstarter, because there's a reason why it benefits my business. There's a lot of thought that went into what I'm doing.
And what happens a lot,
yeah,
for us, and like an example might be Sean, and technically I don't think we ever got to this point, but now with his newest Kickstarter, I went a tier up because of this. But what tends to happen is, so I know with Mike and Trish it's a little different because this is your first book, but with somebody like Travis, it's like, okay, I backed the retailer tier to Holiday Spirits. And then I'm like, oh, cool, this sold really well. And I'm like, oh, dude, I see that you also have broke down. And this is if I don't know Travis at this point. But it's like, I saw you also have broke down in 4 Dead Bodies. Do you still have copies of that? Can we buy that? And then that becomes that like off Kickstarter transaction, that PayPal transaction. Yeah. And with Sean, I was like, we were talking about We as Americans and his other books. And now that's all added into this tier that I just did. So it's like I'll be able to now mix and match all of his different books. It's mainly for 2100 AD, but I'm going to be able to stock his other books as well. And if I sell out of the bar, I get to grab some more bar,
Well, and the other thing to think of too, on Danny's perspective, he is now showing, by showing it publicly, sending money to people via PayPal doesn't help give the store credit for being an indie-friendly store. Mm-hmm. Where Kickstarter, like backing it, does give you credit. You see how many they back. even more so where the collective is doing store comics and running through Kickstarter as well. So all those things tie together as part of the collective brand. It doesn't work for every store, but it works for what the collective is doing.
That's how I view it, is that with you, Travis, I'm selling some of your books, and I'm not selling a hell of a lot of them, but I'm looking forward to obviously backing another retailer till at some point, possibly when my funds are a little bit better and I'm a little bit more stabilized. But it's the idea that I also want that social credit. I am well aware politically. I spent a lot of
cred, bro. He's got the clout.
I got
cred. I'm a DC guy. I at some point will be a senator and president eventually. So let's not pretend here.
You're gonna have to scrub this, huh?
No. This is gonna be the campaign messaging. I'm down with the comic, people. First and foremost, clearly,
and all the
collective is becoming
and the Jim Beam.
Don't worry.
Who's going to be the president?
No. It's not Jim Beam, guys. It's Jack
Daniel.
Oh,
I'm gonna be Jack Daniels. We're gonna have a nice barrel in the White House when I'm president. I promise.
Can't say anything about
I will have
that
an endorsement deal with them as well as president or after. I have planned to make just as much money after my presidency as I'm making right now.
The only problem with that bottle is the honey. I have the same bottle. It just doesn't have the honey.
Okay, let me explain. My friends knew I was running a Kickstarter, and my birthday was on January 10th. So on January 8th, they came to my house and bought this for me because they know I'm a drinker. So my friends are good people, knowing Kickstarter was going to kill me. So at least I have decent friends who understand that this bottle was fully full at one point, legitimately 9 days ago, or technically
or this morning, or when the show started.
All right. Well, we're actually going to wrap this up because
I just wanted to answer Wendy's question. For us, it's the cost, because cover A is not as much as we paid more for the other tiers. So like that is a big difference for us. But I mean, when it comes to printing, no, it's the same cost. But to make that,
what you paid on art, yeah, and we experienced that with our first Kickstarter, because when you pay an artist more, when you have to pay an artist and a colorist and stuff like that, it's like that's gonna up the cost, and that's why I say we typically go like, let's say 10 copies, I'd be like, all right, 7A, 2B, 1C, because I know those are gonna cost me. You know what I'm saying? I know those are gonna cost me more, but I'm gonna sell them for more and things like that. So Travis knows how to put together a retailer. I mean,
that's why I'm calling Travis tomorrow morning, and I'm like, tell me what just to write on my Kickstarter.
Yeah, his Voodoo Nation's retailer tier, even if it wasn't for the one that gave us a store exclusive, the one that he had before that was pretty solid, because it was like X amount of A's, some B's, some C's, some day, some night, some Stan Yak. It was great.
Yeah, you've got.
Travis gave me a bunch of good shit too, so let's not pretend. I'm gonna make bank on you, man.
I appreciate that.
I want to make bank on Travis.
You know who's gonna make bank? Pat Shan is gonna make bank, because eventually he's gonna talk Marshall and do the podcast.
And he's gonna get
I want to do that. Yeah.
I didn't get to tell that story yet.
Hold on, I want Pat. I want to talk to Pat about this. Pat, can you convince Marcel? I'm willing to do it.
Dude, I think it'd be very interesting. How real is the beef? Like, people think that my thing with Raven Gregory is real, and I think that they're wrong. Obviously, Raven and I are close friends.
Right.
You and Marcel, I feel like it's like 90 real, 10 fake.
Oh dang.
Yes. I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah,
70-30. 70-30.
I absolutely will antagonize, just to remind him, hey, I'm still pissed off about this. I just want you may have thought I forgot, so yeah. I saw you post. You were a little arrogant. I'm going to bring you down a peg.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say 100% real, but you guys are still Facebook friends,
Yeah.
So
keep your enemies closer, bro. Yeah. Right?
Hey, my beef with Marcel is legit, though.
Mine's not.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know who Marcel is, but I don't want to back his Kickstarter, apparently.
I don't want to back his either, but that's not the point.
Did you back it?
I mean, I would love to
yeah, I was like, I don't even know who Marcel is.
I don't know what you're looking at.
So much stuff I don't even know.
Hey, let Pat talk.
I would love to get you guys on a podcast to just kind of air things out. And, If it can help you guys have a clear relationship, cool. If it could go the opposite way, that would be amazing for the views. So you know, I'm happy whichever way.
I'd love to be there too, personally.
That would be fun. Yeah, come on in. We'll have like an audience section. You know,
Gonna do it like a presidential debate. Right?
It'll be fun.
Can we have sides like we have a board of committees, like of people who are representing sides? Like, I think that would be great.
What is
I'm
this?
there as a
Case
moderator.
now, or are we going to judge? Is Pat judge? It's Judge Pat.
Yeah, dude, Pat, can you? We have you do it, and it's kind of like that new show. What's his name? There's a new judge show, but he's not really a judge.
Harvey.
Steve
Yeah.
Harvey.
No, we have to do it like
So
Judge
Pat,
Lewis
you are
Black.
the judge, so you decide what the outcome should be, whether or not I should be mad or I have a right to be mad or not. I'm excited.
That's interesting to me, yeah, because I like the beef, you know, so I'm invested.
I like the beef too.
I am invested because you know.
Can
I
I
don't need
just
a
buy
carrier.
ad space on this? Like, I really want to buy some ad space on this shit.
It's gonna be on
Matt,
pay-per-view.
Matt, I'm gonna have to co-officiate that one because
You should.
You're kind of out for maybe the beef to go on. I'm more for the peaceful outcome of this.
So this is how we
Yeah,
structure
we
the
can
show,
kind of good top,
everybody.
bad top it a little bit, you know.
Oh, so it could be like that
No.
other show, The Judges, or something. They
I
have, like,
got
3
this. I
panels.
got this figured out, everybody. Pat will be the judge. Sean will be the bailiff. Travis will be the plaintiff. Marcel will be the defendant. And the rest of us will be the audience.
And we're
It'll be
just
great.
sitting there.
Or the
behind
jury.
the thing.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Can you wear an English wig?
Only if you're providing it.
I mean, I would do it for about 3 booster boxes. But
Wow, that even costs more than signing.
Hey, Travis.
no,
I mean, it's
yeah.
true. We're filming a television show essentially with Pat.
I think it'll be very fun. You know, it's interesting to me because I see both sides of publisher and creator, and I feel like everything bad and good that could happen to someone in indie comics has probably happened to me. I've been doing this shit for like 11 years now, so I see what you guys are going through, and you know, it's a little funny to me, and I like when you guys go back and forth, but I also empathize that, you know, this shit isn't as easy as it always looks, and I think that maybe it'll be fun to hear both sides out, because I think that there's always a bit more to the story than we give the other side credit for. Like, I'll do things where I'll have an opinion about, say, a disagreement with a collaborator, and when it first happens and a while afterwards, you know, I'll have one opinion on it, and then as time goes on and I think it does morph. So I'm not sure how long ago this happened between you two, but it's something that I would like to explore, both for the good of comics and for perverse entertainment.
So
like
let me tell my Marcel story, and this is what bothered me about with him, and I'm very honest about it. And he's welcome on my show. Is that we were supposed to do an interview, and then he basically kept pushing it back and back and back. And I don't know if he understood, but I was going to give him a legitimate interview where I was going to give him a talk about his work, and then we're going to talk about the fact that there's issues of him not delivering and him being delayed. And I was going to challenge him in a respectful way. And what pissed me the fuck off is that my time is valuable and that there's a million people that I could get on my show at this point. And that I pick and choose, for the most part, who's on my show. And my Kickstarter opens that up a little bit. But it's this idea that why would you keep pushing it off and then delaying it and then playing with my fucking time? I don't appreciate that. My time is money. I can spend my time looking at a new book, figuring out a new comic book deal, selling a book, interviewing Travis, interviewing you, Pat, interviewing Danny, for instance, or Sean. You know, I mean, we got to set that up, by the way.
Well, Andrew, Marcel loves to be called out. So if you just want to call him out just publicly, he loves it. Just
I don't
tag him
know
in
who
something.
Marcel is, but here's the thing about not funding Kickstarters, and this is part of the reason that the collective initiative even happened. We run a comic book store. Our demographic is.
I never knew that.
Yeah, comic book stores are real. No, but like our demographic is. There's definitely a percentage of them that are like 18 to my age, 18 to 30, and then there's the whole other side of that demographic that's like 40 to 60.
Yeah.
The 40 to 60 guys not only not only do they not really know what Kickstarter is,
what
they don't really trust the idea of it either. Because I mean, before they finish pledging, Kickstarter even tells you your pledge is not guaranteed and all that stuff. Part of the reason we exist is we have a local. I'm not gonna say his name, but we have a local creator kind of here in Central Florida. I don't think he's like in Orlando specifically, but he does never fulfill. No, no. This guy has been banned, I believe, from Kickstarter because he's not fulfilled that often.
Wow.
But then he went ahead.
True port, but that's not the point.
He went ahead and created his own publishing company, and all those books that he's never fulfilled, he is printing through Diamond and making his money. And obviously, he got the money from Kickstarter. So, you know,
that's such a widow thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's not any books that we won't order for customers. But ooh, do I hate ordering that guy's book if a customer says, "Hey, can you order me this book?" And I say, "Yes, of course, it's orderable. I will order for you." But ooh, do I hate it?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, you only probably have 1 or 2 people doing that. You know?
No, for sure.
Actually, we were abnormal because they said first Kickstarters usually are not completed and done like ours. And they're like that. Yeah. You guys are so different and weird that you waited till everything was done before you launched. And
well, that's the Travis Gibb. That's the Travis Gibb way, pretty much. I couldn't believe they told me it wasn't lettered yesterday. I felt like that, or Tuesday. That was breaking news. Like,
well, that's
because get your room on that. Come on.
Well, mine isn't lettered, my Kickstarter, but I just want to make that clear. I just want to make that clear. The transcript will be accessible, though. I promise you,
well,
it will be accessible.
Unless it's empty, then it's lettered, right?
Hey.
And are you, Sean? I think you tend to be pretty close to done before you launch too, right?
Yeah, I mean, aside from like a trade dress or something like that, I've never launched an unfinished Kickstarter.
Yeah. All your stuff says March, which apparently you don't understand that there's paper shortage. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see what happens.
March,
I'm down for the
like
challenge.
2 months, right?
It is insane right now. Yeah, that's impacting me. And I mean,
yeah, it's really bad.
Some single issues are easier to print in the States, but the printing of trades, that's rough. The custom situation, the port is real bad. And
is Long Island not in the States?
well, yeah, so, I don't print here though.
I'm just kidding.
I know. I could give insight into this. So I don't know how many people know.
Well, hold on. Let me finish your statement first.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. My bad.
65% done. You know, you can come in at about 98%. So it's a situation where right now is a bad time where it's happening to everyone. So thankfully, people have had empathy about this. But for people who launch multiple Kickstarters, major issue, because I had to delay 2 campaigns last year because I have, you know, my theory is since I do so many campaigns, I can have 5 in some level of production or delivery at once. When one of those is done, I launch the next one. I'm always in that machine. However, if a book is at port, which Vampire Emmy and the Garbage Girl has been since November, it's a big problem. So I had 2 campaigns I had to just cancel next year and put into this year. So if I don't catch up this year, that's just money lost, which is.
When you say at port, do you literally mean like it was on the boats that were out there that couldn't get in?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is that China or Canada?
Before Andrew,
Taiwan.
Pat. So do you strictly because I'm not I don't know who Pat is. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm so good, man.
Are your books mostly trade paperbacks? Then is that why you're implying that it's a little tougher for you?
Right. The ones I kickstart are all trades, and then I partner sometimes with Black Mask or a different company to do the single issues.
Okay.
But yeah, the trades that I print, I all do mostly in Taiwan. I've done Canada. I did the States once, and when they came in from the States, they came from a damn prison. So they use the prison labor.
Were they cheap? No, just kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Yeah, it's an issue. It's an ongoing issue, and that does impact delivery. So I do empathize with every creator who who struggles to deliver because a lot goes into it. But there comes a time when if the book is still in production, and that's why, there's things that you should do on your end to speed things up.
Right. But if you'd like to know Pat more, Danny, it's $2 to Pokemon and a flight,
right.
of his choice, and he will gladly hang out with
Hey,
you.
I'll do it for one box of Pokemon.
What I was going to
Yeah,
add
but then we
to
gotta
that-
push JW around. No, I feel like we're being mean to JW.
I have a wheelchair. I can push myself. Come on.
No,
Hey,
first
you
of all,
don't have to pay us. Just
JW,
we'll take you out to dinner. You
We're-
have to agree to go out to dinner with us.
we're forcing
We love you
Travis
that much.
to push you. Okay,
Oh, okay.
you're not pushing us.
I
Travis,
got you, brother.
I would push you, JW, but I'm on crutches. I don't think that would end well.
Listen,
It's such a bad
we'd
joke.
never be able to fly in JW and Andrew at the same time. It'd just be too big of a liability.
Hey! If my surgery goes well in July, I'll be up and running in October. So we're all good on that front. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's pray that I figure out how to finance that entire surgical
Positivity.
operation.
Send in the positive vibes.
Fund my Kickstarter, guys. Fund my
So
Kickstarter.
next week when I'm on, I'll make sure my leg is sitting up here so we all can see it.
Are you getting a cool tattoo leg? Because our friend got Kiss done on his.
Well, this is just a whatever one, but we had.
This is just his first leg, Trish.
Yeah, it's just my
He's
first leg.
There's gonna be many more legs. There's many more legs in the sea. Like this is only his first.
Just because the first one has to be all standard doesn't mean the second one can't be beautiful. Like you.
Sure. We'll 3D print one. We'll figure out somebody to do that.
Well, guys, I just got certified technically, assuming I passed my CPACC, which I probably failed. Doesn't mean, yeah, my CPACC, whatever we call it. That test was brutal. Clearly, I need the rest of this bottle to recover, which is this weekend. That's not the point.
Well, let's wrap this up, guys. Let's go through everybody and get everybody. It's 1 a.m. We're getting a little punch drunk. We're talking over each other. And it's fucking Wednesday. Like, I'm sure we have other things to do.
I have a problem, clearly.
Right. So, JW, tell us who you are, where we can find you, when we can expect Omni.
All right. Well, I'm JW Sims. I am artist, colorist, mainly for Travis's books, and a lot of other stuff. But I have Omni, I got the print copies just today, I believe it was. I don't know, yesterday. This day just says. So, but they will be shipping out hopefully beginning of next week. Our show, the Hooligan Alley Hangout, will be starting back hopefully in the next few weeks. I'm going to start looking for guests. And who knows? And we're going to see if Travis has any other work for me to do.
Always.
I think that's it.
Oh, so Brandon's showing up way late at night.
Yeah, I also have a cover of his that I'm coloring, and I'm also working on coloring a book for Chris Tomatha.
Nice. Mike and Trish, I'm going to bring your Kickstarter up as well. If you guys want to talk, I'll bring up the Kickstarter.
I talked earlier.
You can go.
I love talking. So let's bring up the girls, hot, sexy girls at 12 o'clock at night our time.
All done. I'm working on it. This is my sexy girls, but I'll bring yours up.
That's a girl.
Yes. Don't judge. Don't identify their gender. Well, I don't know whatever they say.
It's a they them, right? They them.
All right, here's the girls.
Yeah, this is Brink and Fetch. Just want to have fun. Two girls making it through the world the best way they know how, and making up rules, making up love as they go along. We have some of the best cover artists there are in the indie world, and the best team. I can't say more about it. I mean, that's a Chris Mad cover. We have a Justin Hunt cover. Steph Wilson. I mean, we have editor is Chuck. Everybody knows It's amazing. We have bra and panty stickers that scratch and sniff. I mean, it's amazing as stretch goals. I think that's about it. You can find us on Facebook. We don't do much on Twitter and Instagram, but we do have accounts there.
Nice.
We're almost funded. We only need $487 more dollars, and we are funded. Yeah, who's Chuck?
Who's Chuck? All right. Who's
Chuck
next on here?
Who's Chuck?
Danny. Well, now, Danny, you were here. Andrew, let's go, Andrew. Let's do Andrew's checks. Andrew, tell us about your Kickstarter, who you are, when Pat's going to be on your show, when Sean's going to be on the show. Let's talk about it.
Well, I figured I would celebrate with a shot for first off because you got me funded. So, hi, everybody.
I think that it is way past time that Andrew finally get to have a drink.
Hey, so that's I got fully funded tonight, pretty much thanks to Travis. So I will say thank you to that. So I run conversations in pop culture, an interview show, and I interview cosplayers, wrestlers, voice actors, and comic people. And obviously, Pat, Danny, Sean, all you guys need to book interviews with me. So hopefully we'll make that happen. And I love Danielle DiNicola. She's fantastic in so many ways. And that's what I run. And please back me because I can't do this without you guys. Seriously, all the money that goes right back into the show, and it makes it happen. And we get to continue for season 3 and season 4. And so I appreciate all support, and I give interviews a real chance to talk about themselves. And we go into your books, and I'll tell everybody a little secret that everybody who backs me for an interview and a guaranteed guest spot, your interviews will be cut up into 2 to 3 bits and put on Instagram, and you will be actually put out as a collaborator onto your Instagram, so it will actually sort of gain more attention and sort of clips. So it's kind of a cool thing that is not mentioned on my Kickstarter at the moment because I just learned of that. And Mike and Trish are one of the first people to actually be part of that. So please back me. If not, it's all good. You might or might not get on my show. So that's where we're at. And Danny Nicole, smoking hot. She's smoking hot. That's all I'm going to say. So on that point, and she just did a collab with Jessica Nigeri. So smoking hot. She's been on my show twice.
Who's wicked? Who's this?
Yeah,
we're gonna be cool, bro. Like, where you at, man? Where you at?
Pat Shand. That's what he's
talking about.
Yeah.
There you go. Smoking hot.
Smoking hot. Watch the interview, guys. She's smoking hot.
She's a
now she may or may not be available. I'm just saying. I'm not too sure what.
Why are you giving us this information, Andrew? You need to be going out and shooting the shot, bro. Like, why are you?
That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Private. You should be keeping this. Ooh.
I clearly
wait until Pat
that.
shows up there with his 2 booster boxes of Pokemon. It's standing down, man.
Hey.
Everybody's gonna drop everything for those 2 boxes. Yeah.
I'm a 5 at best. Pat is like a 7. Clearly,
it's the beard.
I
it's
can't
the beard.
compete.
Yep, the beard.
Raven, no. Let me explain. Raven is a 9.
No. All right, here's when I take over. Okay?
Travis is a 9.
There's no way that Raven in any world, on any scale, rates higher than me, even by a decimal. Okay.
No. I understand that I am a 5, and that's me being beyond generous to moi. I get it. It's okay. I am going to be a millionaire by the age of 35. I'm 29. Next 6 years, it's all right. I have money. I don't give a shit. It's all good, guys. It's all good. I will get a 10. Trust me. I will get a 10.
If he has to pay for it.
But Pat can get 12 because he's a 7 and he's got 2 boxes of Pokemon that you haven't factored in.
Oh, no. It's not even the Pokemon, Travis. Pokemon has nothing to do with it. Pat is a 7 just by nature. Raven's a 9. Travis, you're a 10. I'm just saying.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I get it. I know how to suck. You know.
Whoa,
hey. $20 is $20.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
That's how he got funded. So,
but don't worry, Travis. I understand you're a good Christian. It's all right. Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right, Sean, let's get you up just because I have the Kickstarter stuff up, and then we'll get Danny in.
I like that he had nothing to say after that. Like the period was, I know how to suck.
You know,
no, it's period.
This is how you run, Sean. You need to get on my show.
What else does he need to say? Like, I think that's clearly sums it up. So tell us about 21 AD.
Danny's gonna pitch it. You ready, Danny?
Oh, dude, you don't want to do that. We have a running gig that I butcher everybody's pitch, including Travis's.
Oh, we should
Travis-
have DNP
Travis-
do ours.
Travis,
No, please, guys,
who
no.
butchers it? Why would you do that?
Because he hasn't seen it, so he can't butcher it too bad.
Yeah, it's like, guys, I feel. So when we did the scavenger hunt for friggin' our signing for Travis, the original idea was Danny was gonna butcher everybody's solicitation, and you had to match the books with it. And then I didn't want to offend anybody because I'm like, I don't want them to think I don't know what their book's about. I'm just an idiot.
It was quite a to do. So what's up, Sean?
Why did Skynet do what it did?
Skynet was, it was. I don't know why. Well, the Skynet was mad at the humans because they continued to have them do things and blah blah blah. You know, they don't really give a reason actually.
What about Avengers 2? What about Ultron?
Ultron was mad at Tony Stark. Creator of problems.
And himself.
Poppy issues.
Yeah.
Puppies.
He was mad at the way Josh Whedon was gonna treat women in the future. Once we found out, he was he could read those internet files and.
Hey, how's Gail Gadot doing?
I don't know that there's any recovering from a mention of Joss Whedon right now, but what I could say though is it's that kind of familiar story with a different take. I think a big part of what's explored is how might this realistically kind of transgress, right? So there's samples in the campaign that you can click to read pages of the first volume, and then this is the second volume. First one was 44 pages. It was kind of 1 and 2 combined. This is 3 and 4 combined. So if kind of artificial intelligence takes over the Earth is your kind of a story, but you want to see a different take on it, I think that would be the pitch for this.
Can I give you a little bit of advice, my friend?
Sure.
Remove yourself from graphic novels because they are individual issues, even though they're connected. You'll do better in that category.
Okay.
So you can change that. In fact, actually, that's a trick that people do. They'll change their category from comics to graphic novels in the campaign, and it takes a day to kick in. But people do it, and they say they get backers that way. I think it's bullshit, but people have said that it does.
But no, and I would view Sean's book as a comic. I know it's extra size, and like you said, it's 1 and 2, but I would 100% still view it.
Yeah, until it's combined, and then then it's a graphic novel.
Sure.
I love Sean's stuff, and Sean's stuff has sold in our store really well. With very little, I had him on the show once, and again, hand selling is what I have to do to move everybody's stuff, and I haven't had a chance to hand sell things as much lately because I've been super busy. But it's actually Joel Quinn's Cosmic Deserts. I love things that I can pitch like really easily with like a few words, and I think very early on, Sean said something like the bar was. Kind of like Tales of the Crypt meets Law and Order, and it's like, boom, there you go. Horror anthology kind of with Law and Order vibes, and people buy it just on those 6 words or whatever. And it's like Joel Quinn is like X-Files meets Men in Black, boom, sold. Like I like catchy little things like that. And Sean,
well, that's then we'll use Chuck's quote. Chuck called it Terminator meets Walking Dead.
Boom! That's what I need. Boom! Sells books. Boom!
Yeah, I'm happy to have Sean on my show. Anytime, Sean, you want to be on my show.
Yeah, I really love the bar, so I recommend this pledge level, the 28. Like the bar was really good for me, so I recommend that pledge level if you don't have the bar.
And is that going to be your next Kickstarter, Sean? After this, the bar 2?
Well, we have to get this funded. It's not a guarantee, guys. We have to. I'm gonna have to do more personally. I think I need to be on more shows. I need to be around more. It's tougher
Well,
now. I have a newborn, but
let's set that up, Sean. Next week, I'm open. Let's do it.
Yeah,
But,
Sean, and we'll get you on my show too. You got how long left? You got 28 days. So whatever Tuesday you're free, just let me know and you'll come on my show.
Yeah, we'll do Wednesday. I got you on Wednesday.
all right, let's find
He's
out.
got a baby.
We'll try to do both those next week, guys,
Puff,
and then
puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass.
Give me 3 days so I can actually write your interview. I'm just saying, give me about 3 days because that's what I need to write an
starting
interview.
now, you got 7 days till next Wednesday, so you're good.
Boom. So he's got 3 days to finish the bottle of Jack, and then 3 days to write the interview.
Actually, I'd rather see the interview written while he was drinking the Jack.
My friends
I want Sean.
are great. So I'm not going to pretend here. My friends know exactly what I need. I tell them what to get me as a gift, and they get me a bottle of Jack. I'm a Jack drinker, so let's not pretend here.
Danny, to answer you, if this ends next successful, I would think that would probably be like middle of February. I would still anticipate delivering all the rewards by March, and so the idea would be kind of like the back half of March to do a Kickstarter for the bar, which that would end at April.
And
so
I will
I'd be
get
delivering
you,
that May.
and I will happily get you on then too.
Frick yeah, man! I'm excited. Sean's good peeps.
All right, Danny. Who the fuck are you?
Dude, I'm just some fucking guy.
Just some dude.
So I'm the comic
like
manager.
UCF.
USF. All right.
Whatever.
We don't claim fake national championships. We just lose a lot of games and say, "Damn, we were not good that year." But
next year's our year.
Next year's our year. But we have never gone 0-12. Just saying.
Travis, did you use comic impressions for Holiday Spirits?
Yeah, but I have a really good relationship with them to get that stuff as fast as I did. So, like, I pull in every favor to get it out by Christmas. Like, I'll fucking say it. There's scout books that you guys that Danny doesn't have because I got paper to do my trade paperback. So, and
I just want to publicly say I'm sorry about Mix'em. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sean, I did a lot of research and I called a lot of the big companies, and it's at least 6 to 8 weeks to get anything from the big companies. That's why I'm going to a local printer here in my area that prints for several other titles here in our neighborhood, so I can go pick it up myself because they don't have the paper shortage and they don't have the quantity that a lot of the big companies, you know what I mean? A lot of the big names go to these big ones. I need 2,000. I need 3,000. You're going to them probably. I need a couple hundred, and that would be my suggestion to you. And my people were really good to me. I showed them what my bottom line was for the bigger ones, and they went 5 cents cheaper because they knew it was bringing in extra money, and they need the money now.
So
yeah, my local one is Comics Wellspring. They're maybe 5 miles from my house, so I don't really anticipate issues. I can just drive there and. Hey, you guys got paper?
I was gonna say,
it could be 4 to 6 weeks.
I've said this before, and I've privately said it, I've publicly said it, that look, go to what brings you the best bottom line. And while Mix'em is a sponsor of mine, I understand that everybody else needs to make their nut. And so I am very, I guess, conscious of it, for lack of a better word. So whatever is gonna 3%, 5%, 10%, that matters at this point because I get it. I get it completely, and I'm in business. So
we've received books from all three. We haven't ordered books. We've only ordered books from two printers, which is Comics Wellspring and Impressions. We do carry at least one Kickstarter book that I know for sure is printed at Mix'em. And it's also gotten good results on the quality and everything like that. But I wanted to just tell Trish and Mike, and I'm sure you guys will do your due diligence. What sucks is, and I don't know where I should maybe ask these people where they printed their book at. but there's 2 books that I have done on Kickstarter that they're the same amount of pages as Travis's like single issues and everything. But whatever printer they got them printed at, the book like bows.
Oh yeah.
Like, no matter how you put it on the shelf, unless you put it in a bag and board, it gets very it just gets very wide. Like the pages don't close together, and that stinks as a retailer because I have to bag and board it so it doesn't fall off the thing. But the number one thing in retail is nobody's gonna pull a book out of bag and board and flip through it. But if it's already out, they'll flip through it. So I have 2 guys, and their Kickstarters I have to hand sell a little bit more because I can only put 1 copy on the shelf before they start falling over. So definitely, when you get your proof or whatever they might provide you, just check how it closes and things like that, because that has been an issue.
So, we actually met our printer at a comic book convention.
Perfect.
And he's like, I have 3 of my people that I print for here. You can go look at our quality and everything. And all 3 of the people that were selling their titles were like, oh, it's amazing. And we did the smell test, you know what I mean? And we're like, this is really nice quality, and I'm liking it. And he and his wife were super nice, so we're gonna use them.
Yeah, because that's I just like to warn people now because it affects everything, sales.
I'm well aware in which that I am not in that space yet, but I am planning to be. As I stated, I'm going to be leveraging dividend positions with my stocks to fund a Kickstarter, possibly July, August, maybe September, depending
October,
on
November.
Yeah, let's go with it. Right, let's just run the rest of the year.
Just wait till November after surgery, so you and JW can just walk up in the bitch like,
what up? We got some big what? Yeah, play some Macklin Moore. You know, it's the way we run shit. Oh, believe me, I'll buy him a fur and I'll buy me a fur, and it'll be great. And I'm just saying, you know, if he's down with it, I'm down with it too. Pat, you want to join us? I mean, I'm down, you know.
You going to get Pat a fur?
Hell, I'll get Pat a fur.
2 Pokemon box, his choice.
And a fur.
And a fur.
No, it won't be Pat's choice. It won't be Pat's choice because
Dude,
I'll make sure.
I'm kind of like, I want to see if JW can get me a leg while he's there. We're just all getting like, if we're like, you know, like if it's a possibility, like,
I need
unless if there's a shortage, I don't need it.
I mean, it could be a pretty cool Kickstarter reward, you know, just to pop a leg out.
Shit.
So Sean, the only store to if the question was, is there any place that has paper? The only place that I know of that has paper, it's called Avenue 4. Which is a very hard printer to get into. In fact, most people don't even know they exist, but they print a couple of bigger name people. So they charge you a little bit more, but they do have paper because apparently they're right next to a mill, and the mill gives them their paper.
Yeah, mine hasn't had an issue. You know, granted, I was printing in October, but the paper shortage had started like then or before then because it was something the owner and I talked of. So I've not heard that it's an issue, but hey, speaking of though, guys, you know, if I do the bar in March and it's deliverable May, probably I'll stop by the collective. I 90% sure I'll be in Florida in May. So
yeah, I always tell anybody and obviously like we use our credit card for a lot of this stuff, so we get airline miles. So like that's why we have a little bit of wiggle room to fly people out. Like Chuck and Wendy, we're gonna see what we can do with them when when Wendy's book comes out. But yeah, I tell people because we're in Orlando, especially people who have like families, I'm like, if you're going to Disney or Universal with the family, like we will absolutely help supplement an extra day because we're not gonna take away a day from the family either. But like we'll help supplement a day, like extra hotel, an extra like some cash for an extra day in the hotel, so that you can come do a signing and everything like that.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend. I can tell you for a fact that in the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to be relocating completely to Florida. They got zero income tax.
We're gonna be doing the podcast in studios instead of just in there. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna.
I'll fly out on my own nut for that shit. If you guys.
So yeah, how many Pokemon boxes to move to Florida, Pat? Just.
endless supply, dude. I mean,
can you
So Pat, if I could get you in to get your own Pokemon box with
Yeah.
Nintendo, which might or may not be in Florida, I'm just saying, would you move to Florida with me?
my own box as in
Your own exclusive, completely unexclusive. You can design every single card with approval, and we can have a blast doing it. And it'll
Throw
be
in
the
some
Pat Shan
James
box.
Gandolfini memorabilia, right?
Fuck the shiny box. Fuck that shit. You'll do whatever you want. Nintendo approved completely.
Is that
you
real?
win.
What
if
is?
you
Are
can
we
do
making
that,
things
yeah.
up
If you
now?
can do that, just call me Florida man, dude. I'm there.
No,
Danny, you can fly out for $39 one way and $39 on
Where are you?
my
You guys are in Florida, right?
Hey! I want Pat on the record here. Yeah. Me and Pat are gonna have a 2-bedroom apartment. He's gonna be my roommate. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Why not just have a 1-bedroom apartment?
Oh my God, that's gonna be a comedy.
All right, hold on. If
Pat
we're talking about people moving in together, first of all, this is the next Kickstarter. It was born right here. It's a sitcom where JW and Andrew live together. And I'm not quite sure what the politically correct name for it is yet, but clearly,
capable.
Say whatever you want to say.
It's a one-camera
I won't get offended.
It's a one-camera.
Here's a story.
Yeah, it's like the Odd Couple.
Guy with no legs, and there's this other guy that's got one leg on the left.
All right, I think it's your turn, Pat. I don't know. I lost
See, I won't get offended. I don't know about JW, but I won't get offended.
I think we're past that point with JW.
Listen, when I came out of surgery and woke up, I was making jokes with the nurse. When I got home, they made a psychiatrist, whatever, come see me because they couldn't understand why I wasn't depressed because I just got my leg cut off. So you ain't gonna offend me. I have a shirt that said, this shirt cost me an arm and a leg, but I made a deal or something like that.
Like I traded the other arm.
So I'm very honest. Where I was on a political show last Thanksgiving, and I used the word retarded, and I understand that's a sensitive word, but I was like, you guys are really gonna pick that fight because that is when I was calling out certain people and calling out certain political positions, and I'm like, you're gonna pick the fight on the 10% versus the 90%, and they chose to pick that fight. I'm like, fine, okay, cool, awesome, this is great, this is how we're gonna go now. And I got 1 in the chamber and 7 in the cartridge is my solution to every problem. And I got no problem admitting any of this.
The N64 cartridge?
All right, Pat. Now, what
But
hey, let's do this, man.
All right, guys. No killing people. Pat's turn.
All right, dude. What am I even talking about now? I'm so lost right now, dude. All right, so my @ is Pat Shand. Is that what we're talking about?
Sure.
Your @
That's good. I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
I don't have a Twitter live right now. It's Kickstarter live right now. My next Kickstarter is for Prison Witch Volume 3. It is the finale of the trilogy. It's a story about witches in prison. That's happening in hopefully February. I'm going to launch it within 2 weeks of getting the books for Vampire Emmy. So as soon as that happens, this next campaign is rolling. Early February. For those who are going to comic shops and see this, I got Destiny New York number 9 is out next week. That is toward the end of wrapping up Volume 2. And then we're going to relaunch with a new number 1 this summer that covers Arc 3 and on. And I think that we're promoting right now, right? That's what we're doing? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I felt like I was in a fever dream for a second there, dude. Moving to Florida, like making Pokemon expansions for myself. I mean, it would be great.
He's gonna be
no way to
Florida
talk about
man.
our next president.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, let's start a conversation about who's gonna be running for president.
You're gonna be vice president, so let's not pretend here.
No. I mean, dude, when I enter something, I'm number 1, dude. That's why you can't. If you're gonna rate me and Raven, right? Raven has to be lower than your boy.
Right.
Raven is number 1 in my book.
Well, dude, here's the thing. You're talking about like roommates. If you slept with Raven the way that I slept with Raven, just listen, dude. I've slept alongside of Raven. This is how this man goes to sleep, and this is no lie. First of all, machine gun snore. Okay, he takes his phone. He plays Justin Bieber, and this is not a joke, at top volume, and goes to sleep like that as a 45, maybe 60-year-old. He's lying about his age, man. Okay, so when you're rating people, Raven has to go lower than your boy.
Oh, yeah, okay. I have to interrupt you, Pat, and I don't mean to, but like Raven has actually done videos where he falls asleep talking in it. Guys, I had a bad dream. And I mean, I understand what you're talking about. So that's why when Andrew's like, he's a 9 or a 10, and I'm like,
all right.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay. Let me explain. Me and Raven got completely drunk, and we spoke about our personal lives on an interview.
This sounds like
It's the best interview I've ever done.
Going on here.
We're completely ruining this wrap up.
All right, go back to Pat. Pat's talking about his buddy Raven.
Oh yeah. I'll just wrap it up. I love Raven. Good guy. If you guys want to give me Pokemon cards, I think Sean, you mentioned some Sopranos memorabilia. Please, I'm open to it all. I can be bribed. Andrew, I'll do your podcast. I just pledged your Kickstarter. All your campaigns.
Oh shit! That's awesome.
I didn't know that this was even a thing. Travis, I'm going to ask you how you do this, because Zenoscope does this style too, the StreamYard, and I don't know how to do it. I used to do this kind of thing off of Facebook Live, and they changed it all. But I would like to do something like this too.
Yeah. No, we can talk about it. Yeah, I only do these things when I'm live. I have a Kickstarter live, so I'm doing it right now. But yeah, I can show you how to do it. No problem. You got to pay for it, but it's only a little bit of money.
Yeah, this looks cool. I like how the little comments pop up. Because it's kind of hard to follow on the side. So when they pop up and it's all easy to read, it's cool. But yeah, thanks for doing this. Thanks for sending me the invite. It was fun to talk to you guys.
Yeah, every Wednesday we'll be doing this. And then for me, Granite State Punk, back it. We've already funded 24 hours and 12 hours. We're doing great in this campaign. Got some awesome covers. It's about, punk rock, New Hampshire, live free or fucking die. Lots of cool things, witches, fucking monsters, hot chicks, awesome.
But they're not fucking the monsters, right?
Yeah.
Well, the monsters are made out of bone, so they are boning. So yes.
And I interviewed Travis just the other day, and his artist Patrick is cool as shit too. So like, Granite State Punk's gonna be sick. And then Pat, next time we have something for, I know the next issue is coming out, but next time you have something for Destiny and Why, like the Kickstarter or whatever, let us know so I can put you on my show.
Well, Danny, you should get him on your show anyways. I just ordered your Zenoscope stuff, so that's all orderable right now, right?
Yeah, I'm just ongoing on Van Helsing, and it seems like a new launch every other month because they don't do continuing series anymore. They'll do like a 2-issue series or one-shots, number ones. They'll do annuals and these Grim Spotlights. So it all feels like a launch every single time. So I believe I'm doing every Van Helsing book this year.
So Danny, you can have, because Danny does weekly on Tuesdays. He does pros and Kickstarter people. So he'll do a pro, like an AW people. You've had all sorts of really cool people on.
Dude, I typed this man's name into Diamond and it came up. That's crazy.
My name came up there too, so you weren't that impressed.
No, but like literally, I can look up like because I was like, oh, let me just see what he's working on for the year, and it's like, yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
there's a whole library around Pat.
Yeah, Pat's a hard worker.
Doing this a few minutes.
So Pat's been working with Zenoscope for years, and Pat is slaying it. Where Robin and Original, and even down to what the recent stuff that you've done with them with the Invisible Woman, I think, as well as a variety of other things.
Yeah.
So clearly, I mean, you're slaying dragons.
So
man.
real quick,
no pun intended.
Real quick, Pat.
Yeah.
In March, if paper holds up, you're also supposed to be the Van Helsing annual, which I'm guessing is going to be kind of a one shot. Yeah, it says one shot.
Yes.
Is coming out, and I haven't FOC'd that yet, or initial order, I think Zenoscope is. If I went high, would I be able to send you some copies to sign? And obviously we'd pay for the shipping, but like, and have them come back.
If you went higher and paid 2 Pokemon boxes and a flight, you could get him to sign him in person.
So I want
That
to
might be cheaper than shipping it right now.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Cheaper to ship Pat than to ship the book.
That's the other thing to note too, Danny. Since you don't know who Pat is, he's also the Marvel.
You worked on Charmed.
Yeah, we did Charmed season 10. It was the comic book continuation of the series. So I did a full season of that, and then I did 2 novels for a company called Joe Books. And then Joe Books went out of business. So those novels never came out. But I've had multiple publishers talk to me about, major plans to eventually put them out at some point. So hopefully one day.
Okay.
But yeah, Chuck, thank you for saying that. And yeah, I do want to say too, Travis, you said, and this is funny. I will say I do want to read your stuff. I did meet you through the Marcel beef, but I'm interested. You seem like a cool guy. I mean, this overall was fun. Sean, it was cool to put a face to the conversations and the name. And the signing for the Van Helsing. I would love to do that, Danny. Yeah, it's just know that it's a thick issue. I'm not sure if that impacts shipping or whatever. It's a 64 pager, so
right.
I figured. I saw it's $7.99.
Yeah.
Also, it says that you are, or at least when I typed in your name on Diamond,
yeah.
Carson of Venus popped up. Did you work on that? Did you write something in that?
Like 4 years ago, yeah. What they're probably doing is just relisting it because they have extra, yeah.
Okay.
I did Duare. It was a one shot with a character from that universe for
American mythology, right?
American mythology, yes. Yeah, I did that with them. Yeah,
it's stuff we ordered. Again, we do indies. That's stuff we ordered.
Yeah.
I never. Now I have put a face to the name. To be fair, I had missed the name, but now I know, because they're books we've had.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as many as you want signed. No, I mean, any issue of Van Helsing, Destiny. I think, on the creator-owned things, I'm going to have 6 number 1s in shops this year. So whatever you want me to sign, just pop over to me. I'm happy to do any number of those.
It don't even have to be his books. He'll just sign whatever you want to send him.
I'm going to send some Voodoo Nations over there. And just
send them over.
Send them over, dude.
I'm going to send
them over. Read my stuff anyways. That makes it really easy for him.
I'm gonna say send over the Invisible Woman, especially that Ivan Tao cover, because that Ivan Tao cover is smoking, baby.
Oh, Ivan Tao's been killing it lately.
That guy is amazing, and I'm lucky that I got him on my show. I am beyond lucky because he is an amazing creator and artist, and that guy is going places. And if you can get him on your show, get him. I'm telling you, he's the best right now, and he's one of the guys that you want, because what he's going to be doing in the next few years, first time I get to book him as a cover artist, I'm stoked for it, and I will pay him his rate. He's worth every fucking penny.
Can I ask Pat a question? Like a legit question? Like, what does your con schedule look like for this year? I know COVID's still kind of wonky, but do you have a con schedule?
I actually, I have nothing booked, but I want to. I would love to do more shows. I always look at Baltimore. Baltimore is a con that I try to do a lot, but sometimes they're very, very slower than most cons to get back to you about being guests there, and just the hotel costs makes me not want to really do a table if I have to pay for it there. But I'm definitely beginning to look at my cons this year, but so far nothing.
Have you looked at Awesome Con by any chance? Because Awesome Con's a really good one to go to.
No, I haven't talked to anyone yet this year at all. You know what I can say for sure I will do though? I will for certain do New York Comic Con, because that's a show where I had a table this year, but last year, but whether or not I do the table again, I'll always go to that show because I can sign at publisher booths. I'll pop by Zetascope. If Black Mask has a booth, I'll do there. So New York is the one that's for sure that I will be at.
Oh, well, I just asked because, I know in Travis's neck of the wood and Danny's, and it sounds like in Sean's, and down in Florida, there's a bunch of cons going all the time. And just maybe if they can get you at a con, then maybe then the collective and bada boom, bada bing, you line up your ducks.
2 boxes Pokemon cards and you're good to go.
That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's like if I don't have to pay for the flight, the 2 boxes is looking even better.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, depending on the box, you might not think that anymore.
So I'm gonna call out Travis a little bit because I do want to get Travis on the record here. I want Travis on my podcast before his Kickstarter ends, so I could help boost it out. So how do we make that happen, Travis?
Yeah. Pick a thing. I'm booked this week. I'm pretty booked up. I have almost every day, but that doesn't mean I can't have extra time. I'm hitting this one. I'm hitting harder than I've ever hit anything before because this book is so personal to me. There's a side deal with it that some people know about. So there's a side deal. So I'm putting it. I'm not doing retail packages like I normally do. I want this to be my legacy. My ones that I've been doing before, which is weird that not my mini series, like this one shot right here. Like this is the book. I want this to be known because it is the best thing I've ever written.
So the reason why is that I feel like I owe you. Because you've been on my show a bunch of times, you gave me a shot, you backed my podcast and what I'm doing very early on, and so I just want to pay the favor. And
nobody owes me anything.
People. No. I owe you a lot more than you think. Obviously, I'm very humble about this, and so obviously I want you because very well you're going to be part of my legacy as well. So obviously I'm smart enough to recognize that.
So on this president thing, Pat is vice president, but Pat's going to fight you for full president. Am I like chief of staff? What am I at?
Secretary of Treasury.
That's probably not the best call for me. I'm not doing the money, but let's try.
Talk to his wife. She'll tell you not to pull it.
Pat's always number one, so I don't understand this hierarchy.
Right?
Well, I should be thinking.
I'm gonna win the presidency.
Andrew will be president, but
why do you think Pat center square? Center square is always important.
It'd be very funny if I could make Travis, both you and Marcel, co-secretary of defense. That would be real.
Yo, Travis. So I just scrolled through all your Kickstarter because you're very funded.
He's very fun.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
No stretch goals yet?
I haven't put up the graphic for it because I expected to be funded. I expected to have time to do it tomorrow morning.
You thought it was going to take you 2 days instead of one.
You expected wrong, Travis.
It makes it sound like such a shitty human being.
Dude, you should have just had it on the lunch. Been like, thank you for the $3,000 that you're going to give me soon, and.
You make me feel so crappy.
Underestimated yourself again, Travis, clearly.
Travis, is this a one shot?
This is a one shot, yep.
There's reasons, I believe. There's reasons, but...
There's always reasons. But yeah, this is the most I've ever paid for art. This is the most I've ever, invested, there's a lot into this. This is a big deal for me, and I know it's weird because I have series that I love. Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies, all 4 issues. I have Voodoo Nation, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. We make tons of money. People love the Oz. Brings me a lot of cred, but this book is so personal to me, and I want everyone to know about it. So
more reason for me to interview you because I am the perfect person to do it in. If we have to do it on a Sunday, which is not my normal time, I will get you in whenever you need to get in. That it's open, and I just want to get you in on this because if we have to do it at 4 a.m, we'll do it at 4 a.m. I got no problem.
You guys can do it in 2 hours.
Yeah,
you guys should do it tonight. See how that goes.
So I'm gonna call out Travis.
Pat, I have a question for Pat, if I can. You hear me, Pat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, do you remember growing up? I don't know. Maybe it was just in my area, but do you remember when Sopranos would air on Sunday nights live? Do you remember that?
I do. I remember. Back then it was my parents watching it and me peeking in, and specifically, this is a big spoiler, obviously, but there's a certain character I remember was making news waves about being killed. But yes, I do. Yeah,
it was a big deal. When I go to high school, everyone would be like, "Did you watch it last night?" Right? It was one of those things, kind of the way Game of Thrones was more recently, the way that was a show everybody watched. Yeah. I just wondered if you grew up that way with those memories or not so much.
Oh no! it was a thing that my parents watched, and I would like kind of like peek in and see, and I was aware of it, but I never really knew about binging TV and watching a full series. Like back then, I was you know,
Well, you
I was a
couldn't
little
then
hurt.
either.
I was taping Full House on the VHS tapes to watch the whole shit. It wasn't really Sopranos. I would probably get in trouble, you know. When I was 18, I bought the first 2 seasons at a Black Friday Best Buy sale, and I ended up watching the full series a bit later on DVD. And ever since then, it's been on like a yearly loop ever since. That and 6 Feet Under. You know, 6 Feet Under I actually caught a little bit earlier than Sopranos. And both those I still can't believe that HBO was putting out those 2 shows at once.
You got to watch Oz, man. I keep telling you, watch Oz.
I love Oz.
Oz is
I
on my list for
love
sure. Yeah.
Oz.
Travis loves
Oz
Oz.
is so good.
Yeah,
It's
Oz-
unbelievable.
I see what you did
Watch
there,
Oz.
Yeah, Oz and
I think it was 2
Deadwood,
years.
I want to see. Yeah.
It came out like 2 years before Sopranos. Oz did, I think, a year or two.
Yeah, that was. I think. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read that it was the first ever HBO original series, but that could be wrong.
Hour long, I believe.
Hour long. Yeah, there we go.
I want to say like Oz was 96, Sopranos was 98 when they first aired, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, that rings true about Sopranos. Yeah.
Do you know what what HBO's first original series was? And I kid you not, I happen to know the answer.
What is it?
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock, yeah.
Yep, was a half hour because that was an
And
original program.
does
Because they were
anybody
trying to
know-
compete with they were trying to get into the kids market. And they had
Fraggle
the
Rock was
movies,
an
but they didn't
HBO
have-
thing?
Yep.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was HBO.
And why was HBO formed? Do you know who was sort of the mastermind behind it a little bit?
Sir HBO?
Yeah, I'll say
George
Mr.
Carlin.
HBO.
George
Really?
Carlin was behind it because it was this idea of unaccessed. You could be unfiltered and you could say whatever the fuck you want to say. And this is who was behind it, where it was this idea that you could say the word fuck, you could use the 7 words, and that was the idea.
That's cool.
Is you didn't have to pay attention. And then SiriusXM sort of copied it in a lot of ways. And obviously we're now in an uncensored world, which is this show to some degree.
Well, we got Peacemaker on HBO now that was just like absolutely uncensored as hell. Like rated R doesn't even do it. Like that was
Hey, my John Cena signed comic is sweet. It's CGC approved, and it's an amazing book because I know that it's worth bank.
Somebody came into my store and bought the Peacemaker variant today. And he goes, "Bro, I think this is the first appearance of John Cena on a comic." And I had to stop myself because I knew I was going to burst his bubble anyways. But I'm like, you do know there were WWE comics for a good amount of years by Boom Studio.
I mean, there was Tate's, there's a bunch of others. And
So I have the artist that did that, Nikita Mann, is from Orlando currently. He used to live in Miami near Tate's. We have him working on a cover for us, and he's actually signed a bunch of those John Cena's for us.
So I got a signed copy of him with Rob Goltery, or however you say his name, on a 9.6 board for $15 CGC graded. Way undervalued.
It's like
for that
CGC
book.
grading alone is like twice that. But the joke is you can't see the cover. It's an invisible book. That's an Invisible Woman book too, you know, the John Cena book.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think it's time to go. I'm sleepy. My wife's
Travis, I watched you decline like the last hour. I just watched the eyes deteriorate.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm here for you, Travis. I got your show.
I've been trying to sign off for 2 hours.
Hold on, one thing, because this has been blowing my mind for the hour and a half I've been here. How the hell does it look like Mike and Trish have natural sunlight coming through that window? Like, you guys are in the United States, right? This isn't like Japan that you guys are in. Like, yeah, okay, there was a glare. I was like, oh my god, it's like, what time is it where they're at?
That's what I was earlier. I'm like,
I think when I don't know what the timestamp was, but I think it's all gone a little low when Andrew goes, how many in are you? And I was like, well, I just had one beer. It's a Wednesday night. And he's like, I'm at 5. And
No, 6.
It went
That's 2.5
off the
hours
rails.
ago.
It went off the rails when Andrew said, "I suck," or "I know how to suck."
That's the end, right?
That was the.
See, the difference is that I know you're not going to soundboard this interview, so I feel comfortable enough. Because there's
Oh no, we
other shows I've been
timestamped
on.
that. Actually, everybody already timestamped.
You're good. I got like 4 YouTube followers. You're good. It's never good.
I don't give a fuck tonight. Like literally, after my day today, I don't care. Like I've reached the end.
But thank you, guys.
Danny,
Thank
we
you.
will put a tier in so you can do that if you want.
Yes,
and like
shoot
I
me-
said,
yes.
we actually live in Arkansas, and I work for the Big Bad Company. Supposedly, it's not. I love it, and I'm glad I work for them. But we get cheaper
She worked
flights.
for the devil.
I work for Walmart.
Mama. But no, absolutely, Trish. Just let me know. Shoot me a message, and I will. I'm actually getting extra crazy because I realize I haven't done it yet, and backing Travis before we get off here. So that is done and done.
Whoa.
Well, you don't even know what to back. We haven't even figured out what to do.
Well,
yet.
you told me. You told me. Go
All
ahead
right,
and do the metal thing, and we'll figure it out afterwards. But I did the
Yeah.
highest tier. I feel special. I mean, it's not my money, but I feel special.
It's not my money, so
I feel you.
But you can just back me for the 500, and we'll figure it out. Then
500.
then I'm fully funded.
I need to
That's
make
what
sure I
I'm
keep my
for.
job, but no, I will. But no, we will definitely do something, Trish. I can't wait to have your guys book in store, and then definitely would love to have you for a signing.
Oh
And
yeah,
we-
no, I mean I did the top. I went the best of the best. So I mean that I could afford.
And I'm so happy for you guys because honestly, when I saw you guys were doing a comic book, I'll admit I was excited because you guys are so supportive of everybody else.
Yeah.
Danny
Yeah,
has had
it
5 books of mine. He still hasn't invited me down to sign anything.
Travis
prettier
told
than you,
JW.
I'm a 3, you're 2, okay? I'm a 3, you're 2. Get it right.
James, I love all your coloring work. I love that you've worked on Orange Cone. It's really good that you could do all these things for Danny at the collective if I was there at a signing, but Pat can be bought by $2 of Pokemon of his choice and a flight. What, like,
they're not cheap though.
Right, and
Yeah, I mean those get
I'm not-
pretty crazy.
Mike needs $1 Twinkie, a ho-ho thing from the
We'll
convenience
give-
store,
we'll-
and he'll be anywhere.
We'll give JW a collective leg.
what?
He'll be like a damn NASCAR.
Yeah, I'll have I'm gonna start getting sponsorships for my leg.
DuPont and then the collective right there, back to back, man.
But yeah, we'll make it up. But good night, guys. Good night, JW. Good night.
Bye. Nice meeting you
We'll be
guys.
back next week at 10 o'clock. We'll be doing this.
And my leg will make an appearance.
All right.
Hey, there we go.
So next week we're gonna do a big. Next week I'm gonna do another regular one, and then the third week I actually am gonna have pros. Maybe I'll have you come on, Pat, too. Like Charlie Stickney wants to come on. David Byrne wants to come on.
Charlie's the man. I love Charlie.
So we may do a like a kind of a more pro, and I'll shut the fuck up because I'll be the low guy on the totem pole.
No, I mean no. You are a pro, dude. Come on.
Pros pro.
He's trying to figure out how to come back.
You're on the totem pole,
Right. I just want to be on your show with Marcel. Let's make this happen,
dude.
I will submit publicly to any ruling that Pat says at the end of that. So if Pat
Judge
says
Pat.
you need to shut the fuck up.
I mean,
I have to be there.
I'm telling you, I
That's
would
not
be.
valid.
I would be exhaustive in that. I would ask every question because I'm really intrigued. I think it's really interesting. I mean, Sean, you've seen this beef too. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah.
It's juicy stuff.
Yeah, we can submit. I can submit evidence beforehand for you to review.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's bring up some emails. Let's do the whole thing.
Yeah, I would genuinely love to do it. And
You could actually start like a whole podcast of this, of all the people that have beefs with one another through the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
you could be Judge Pat Shad.
Yeah, I mean,
called airing grievances.
That'll be great. I have, this is a character defect, and I wish I didn't do this shit. But I'll see a comics person subtweet about someone, and it nags at me until I could find out who they were talking about. So I'll like go down and search, and the more vague they are, the less I'm on their fucking side to begin with, because I'm doing all this extra work. So for some reason, I have
you made me look for it. I hate you.
Exactly. I do have that, that kind of like addiction to beef. Honestly, in multiple ways. Fucking look at me, but yeah, it's very interesting to me. Yeah.
We're savages, man. This is great. This was the roast. I feel like the last 2 hours was the roast hour, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Travis, you should host the roast now. I feel like that's the progress next.
Man, I would be so kicked out of comics if I did a roast, because I have so many things that I want to say on the regular that I don't say. I call Chuck on them. Chuck.
You just call Chuck and you roast other people while talking to Chuck.
Pretty much. I have Chuck and Frank.
Oh, we
Martin.
do it too. So
yeah, those are the people who I share my personal grievances with. The rest of it, I just kind of like love you. I love everyone. We're all in this together.
The rest you just do in public.
Hey, there's some things you shared with me.
Now, here's the thing: if Marcel really did me wrong, like really bad, Sean, like I don't think you understand.
I do know. I know all about it.
So I will call that motherfucker out until he makes good. Until you be a decent human being and make good, like I'll call you out.
I do know, bro, but it's so funny, right? Because I'll always see you and you always be like, everybody be kind to each other, be good to each other, take care. And then it's like Peter versus the chicken, right? Marcel goes walking by and you just fucking fly out of the room at him. Like,
oh my God, that statement of be
hilarious.
kind to each other is such bullshit in comics. It's such bullshit. I am legitimately calling out, and you're about to see me have no friends in comics, and I am totally fine with that because my business is set up for that. I don't really care. I don't give a shit anymore.
we're good people. The only person we haven't done anything with in there is Sean, but everybody else we've bought properties from them or done stuff with them. So we're good people. Damn it.
Travis knows all my enemies. He knows all my enemies, and he knows certain things. And I'm not going to say certain things on air because it'll hurt people's businesses. But
there's nobody listening. It's 2 a.m.
Oh no! The way I run, people will find all this shit.
And plus, he's running
we
for
do
president.
Have 7 viewers. I don't know who the fuck they are, but there are 7 people watching. They're not commenting or anything.
Yeah,
Chuck on 7 computers.
Oh well, I got 2 going.
Oh, there we go. I'm watching here.
There's 7 of us in here. Maybe it's just.
It can be just us. The interesting thing about the beef though is the truth is like Sean, I think that you know more because you know the story. I don't really know the story, so that's why it's so fucking interesting. I'll just see the flames and I'll go to it.
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah, dude, let's get into it. Get into it.
Here's I think the best way, without actually going into the beef or any of the components of it. Here's the best kind of a thing, like from an outsider's perspective, right? Let's just say you're walking up on a playground, right? And there's some tall kid beating the heck out of some other kid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who's right or wrong, right? Per se, you don't know what created this. Did he do something? But probably the instinct is to be like, either hey, knock it off, or separate them, or like, all right, you beat them up enough, like so. So sometimes when it airs out in public, it can kind of be like that. I've always been fairly neutral in it, but make no mistake that Travis is right. my concern is just kind of like, is he getting egg on his face, or is he getting dirty? You can't roll around on the ground with somebody without getting dirt on yourself, right? But no, sometimes it's fun to watch because Travis is always kind of there, like a don't think I forgot about you, motherfucker. So
I like to remind him.
Let's not pretend here that there's been a lot of shit thrown at me on my Kickstarter, and there's been people from certain companies, and if you think I forgot about that shit, oh, fuck, hell no. There's going to be a point where there's going to be negotiations with those companies, and I am definitely going to make that deal 70-30. No question about it. So if you think that I'm not coming for you and all the shit that's been thrown at me and the trolls and people calling stupid shit out at me, oh, you're going to pay for this. No question about it. And your boss is going to be pissed at you. Your boss isn't going to fire you. Your boss is going to understand when this deal where we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, where it becomes 70-30, 70 in my favor, 30 in your favor. Oh, fuck no. This is how it's going down.
And when he's president, he's just going to screw them all
Trolls.
over.
Right.
Marcel. Sopranos.
No. But in all seriousness, drop the president shit. When there's comic deals going down, no question. If you fucked me and threw shit at me, there's no way this deal is not going in my favor. That's just how I view it. And I don't really give a shit.
You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
I don't give a shit.
It's a good thing he knows how to suck. That's all.
It's bedtime. I'm glad you switched to water, Andrew. That'll help you tomorrow.
Made it. Yeah. Hey, he's a smart man. He's not going to be
passing him one.
I can go back to this shit anytime I want. I am still functioning semi-functional.
I agree, semi.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good
Bye.
night. Good night, y'all. Thanks, Travis.
Thanks for all the support.
Bye, everyone.
Right. It's brownie time.